Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live here at Bat City Comic Professionals to wind down your weekend. As always, I am your host, Small Press Shann, here with my buddy, Wednesday Phil. What's up, Phil? How's it going?
I'm very tired.
Yeah?
Very, very tired.
What happened? Why are you tired?
Not a lot of sleep. I had to send Nigel off.
Oh no, Keymaster Nigel. For those who know, I guess it's like your starting point of the day. The Keymaster Nigel has moved away.
I know. No longer roommates, which is very sad to me. Also, he hugged me, which was uncomfortable because he knows I don't like to hug, so he kind of goes into like one of those side one-armed hugs. And I was like, oh, we're doing this, okay. And he was like, well, I may not see you for 10 months. I was like, yeah, but you don't need to hug about that. It's okay. You know, I'll see you again, I'm sure. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it was kind of odd. I helped him move. And it's hot in Texas. I don't know if anyone else has noticed. But
I had not. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. And of course, like all day, Matt was like, oh, it's actually the nicest it's been in quite some time. I was like, it's hot as balls out here. How can you say that?
Because Matt doesn't like to be cold, so he appreciates the heat.
Well, it was not above 100.
Well, that's good.
While we were doing it. Oh, sorry. It's a big bottle.
No, it's just blocking your face.
Oh.
You look like Wilson on
I see your beautiful face.
Home Improvement.
You know what? I kind of want to, sometimes I do that with the books. Like, I'm like, oh, I can hide.
And then you're like, hello there, neighbor. Yeah.
Impart my words of wisdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad to see him go.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to miss him. It's weird. He came here after he left us.
I assume.
As you would imagine. Usually when Nigel comes back to home, whenever the military sends him somewhere, he always stops here before he even goes home. But he stopped by on his way out, and we were like, dude, do you realize this is your last time coming to, like, this Bat City ever? Like, it won't exist anymore. And he was like, no. Like, I didn't think about that. So we had to get some pictures and a video, which I wanted to bring up because for most of you might know that, like, this week is the last week that Bat City is going to be open to the general public in the city of Austin. The store is moving to the Sarasota, Bradenton area of Florida. And so this is the last full week. And one of the things that we would love is if you want to, when you come in, we'd love for people to record videos about, like, why they love Bat City and, like, what they're going to miss and things like that, just so that we can have this little, like, video memento of the time of us, like, leaving and all the people that we met along the way. So if you come in this week, which I hope you all do since it is the last official week, let us know if you're down to do a video. And if you're not comfortable doing it in person and you want to shoot us a video, like, through email or something, we'd love to have those parting words from everybody.
Can we make a super cut with that Sarah McLachlan song over it?
Yes. I will remember you. That's like as far as I'm allowed to go before I get sued, right?
That's what I want. And then at the new store, we can just play that
all the time.
All the time.
With, like, Matt has to do all the, like, weird the bad transitions where it's like the fade away and then it comes back up.
Looks
from,
like a poor PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, I'm here for it. It's gonna be amazing. What are we drinking today? So we're drinking two different things.
Well, originally we were going to be drinking Excelsior, which is the perfect type of name for a wine on the live stream. But someone brought a wine margarita cocktail, and I love margaritas, so I actually switched it up.
Decided to do both.
And I may do both. Maybe if it gets crazy later on, I'll pour both into one glass.
At the same time?
Mix some Gatorade I have over here. So,
as long as you drink the Gatorade, it doesn't count what alcohol you drink, right? Like, doesn't Gatorade negate the alcohol?
Well, it's the electrolytes. Yeah.
So there you go. You're good. You're solid.
I'll be fine.
So we're drinking Excelsior, which is a South African wine that is from a farm that was originally used as, like, a ranch for thoroughbred horses, and then now over the course of time they've transitioned into making grapes, probably from grape fertilization on their land from having thoroughbred horses there for so long. So I'm drinking this. I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm gonna taste it. While I'm tasting that, Phil is going to taste his I think it's the Rancho La Gloria, the ready to enjoy margarita. wine cocktail, which does contain yellow number 5, which just always makes me want to sing the Mambo number 5 song whenever I read the ingredients. And this was brought to us by Lauren, who is here in the audience, and you'll get to meet her later, but you'll probably hear her laughing throughout the event. So I'm going to taste mine, you taste yours.
Oh, gosh. That's strong. And there's no wine aspect to it. I just feel like I'm just like, it's almost like somebody left a margarita mix out in the sun for a long time and then was like, oh, let's just bottle this and call it a wine cocktail. I mean, it's delicious.
They call them a wine cocktail just so they can sell them in the grocery stores everywhere.
That makes sense.
That's really why. It's like getting a wine cooler, like back in the day, like... It's really all it is. Or like Excelsiors. It's like they're just alcohol, but you can't call it that and sell it there. Oh, I'll put this over here so you can reach it, Lauren. And then...
This one should go over there as well.
Right. This one will go next to me so that I can reach it, because I'll be the one who refills that. Since, not to make Phil just refill my drink when he's not even drinking the same thing. So, we've got some awesome new comics this week. I love when the picks of the week are automatically the same ones, so I'm really excited about that. We've got a couple of those, but we're going to kick it off with our hot new titles. And first up, we have the Shaolin Cowboy Cruel to Be Kin, issue 2 from Dark Horse. And honestly, this is kind of like Step by Bloody Step. You're really just buying it for the art. There's not really that big of a story. Like, if you read issue 1, you know that the story is being told by a lizard. Who has followed the Shaolin Cowboy on his adventures. And so now the lizard is continuing the story he is telling his son about this crazy experience where they were being attacked by a giant baby man in the desert who flew in an octopus. And in this one, they have to battle a giant, like, balded chicken. Giant. Honestly, like, I know, Phil, this is one of those artists that you love, though.
Yeah, I remember when the first series came out, and it's kind of just one of those, like, really ridiculous books. But if you look at the art, the pencil work is fantastic. It's probably some of the best art I've seen in the past 10 years. And I was excited that they were actually bringing this back, because it's just absurd.
Yeah, you were like, oh man, I didn't get to Shaolin Cowboy because I didn't have time to read it. I was like, there are no words, man, just look at it. It's like every once in a while the lizard's son is like, but Dad, why didn't y'all do this? And the dad's like, patience, kid. And the kid's like, okay. And then it just goes back and I'm like, so how is the kid hearing this story if nobody is talking right now? Like, the kid has just stepped into the lizard dad's imagination and they're together. But I love it because the lizard said he, like, imprinted essentially on the Shaolin Cowboy in issue 1. So in issue 2, he just keeps calling him New Daddy. He's like, don't leave me, New Daddy! And I'm like, what's going on? And why do I love it? It's a hilarious book. It feels like an over-the-top, like, Western parody that everybody should read.
Yeah, I definitely think everyone should check it out, especially if you can go back and find trades of that first series. I know the single issues are really hard to find now. This is kind of one of those that was always just like under the radar for a while and then picked up way later. But yeah, this is a ton of fun. And like I said, like, look at the pencil work and the detail on some of, especially like the landscape of it. Very
all
beautiful.
That desert, like, rock. They get all the, like, grains on the rock and everything. Up next, we have issue 6 of Cover of Darkness from Source Point Press. Not the end. I really thought this was going to be the end because we haven't had a Source Point book go really past 6 issues. Most of them into that 3 to 5 mark. This was not the end, and I am surprised, but we are definitely seeing the culmination of everything. This book is the Universal Monsters. It's an all-out Monsters Attack Universal Monsters book. And we've got, it started in issue 1 with a Romani family, and some of them were, like, kidnapped by this goblin-run circus, and one of the daughters was kidnapped by Dracula, and one of the sister, like, the aunt, has gone, like, missing, and the mom is on this mission to kind of find all the kids, and we're seeing each of the Universal monsters were introduced in the first, like, 4 issues, and we got their backstory, and now we're just in, like, the last 2 issues, we've just been in this build-up for this major fight that's going to come out. And there was some good twists in this one of seeing the family kind of get to strike back for the first time against things. And I can't wait to see how powerful some of the characters in the family are going to be towards these monsters. And I just keep saying every time, I can't wait for them to actually like fight, because this is like there's this big war coming and they're all prepping for it, and I'm like, okay, next issue is going to be the war. And then the next issue is like, so side quest for a minute, and I'm like, no side quest, no, I want the war, which I never want the like action. Right. But this is like the one book where I'm like been waiting. But they introduced Amazons in this, which was cool. Like Themysciran looking almost Amazon, so, and talking about like their island that doesn't have men on it and stuff, and I was like, ooh, now we're bringing in the Themyscira and the Amazons, and I'm totally in. So this book just keeps adding everything that I like every time.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just gonna keep pushing off on the war. They're just like, all right, what crazy Universal Monster-esque things can we do?
Right.
How can we expand out further? I'm perfectly okay with that, though. I feel like my running theme in 2022 has been all about expanding outwards.
Yes.
And if you want to world build, do it here and do it with the Universal Monsters. Like, I'm totally on board for this. I also really love the art in this book. It definitely does well with a lot of the kind of like horror themes of these books. But
I want a crossover between this and A Town Called Terror.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Like, I want to see, like, the families, like, meet and see what goes down. Because it's, like, the same monsters. But
yeah, pretty much.
So I'm like, let's see what would happen if these families met and they took down everybody all together.
So it was just a giant war of everybody.
All out monsters attack. Ready for it.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. Up next from Image Comics is Nocterra issue 11, which is midway through this new volume of Nocterra. And this is Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel just doing what they do. It's all about a world where the sun has gone missing, and if you are caught in the darkness, you become what they call shades, which are basically demonic creature type things that attack people. And it follows a young girl and her brother as they make their way through this world. And it's cool because this is one of those, like, when it gets this far into a series, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I guess it's too late to pick it up. But we're only 11 issues in, and guess what? Image already made an image first. So if you've never read issue 1, there is actually an image first for it. So for $1, you can read the first issue of Nocterra, which is a series that has already been optioned. So now's the time to grab it and read it and kind of catch up, because this is going to be something, I think, with Scott Snyder books, it's easy for them to adapt. They're very, like, cinematic, and like, they've got all the action, they've got the heart, they've got everything. And so this is a story that I think people will like, because it's that perfect sci-fi where it doesn't get too into the technicalities, and it kind of plays on that family heart and stuff more. So this particular issue had a lot of that family drama, and that the whole group that's been together all this time has finally been broken apart. And so we're going to see some very different things. And the ending of this issue, I literally yelled at the book. So, and I'm not sure if I'm mad about it or happy about it. Like, I was like, this is both badass and terrible at the same time. So, come in, grab an image first of issue 1. I feel like I would almost bring back book club just to have a Nocterra and a Radiant Black, because both of them have a image first now. I'm like, I'm almost would bring back book club just to do this.
Radiant Black has one as well?
Yeah, it does.
Wow, they're pumping those out very quickly.
I mean, Radiant Black's nominated for Best New Series at the Eisners.
That's true. So and I guess this got optioned, so it's kind of like, hey, let's try and put this in more hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and because they're not doing a lot of additional prints, and even if they do, it's usually the speculator market comes up and like grabs it. So it's like, hey, if you make an image first, that actually gets more people who are just readers the chance to grab that book.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I feel like just the creative team alone. I mean, you're getting Tony S. Daniel art, and Scott Snyder. I mean, I want everything he does to just get optioned. Yeah,
I want to see a Scott Snyder streaming service. Just do it.
I mean, I feel like at some point there's going to be comic creators who team up with production companies.
Honestly, isn't that what AWA just did? Because they just got that connecting thing with that studio, so they're going to have all their stuff optioned by. So, I mean, essentially, it would not be surprising if we see an AWA streaming service of some kind very soon, since they have that studio that they've just completely networked with. And, I mean, they are AWA studios. They are studio first, and so it's not far-fetched to believe that we would see that, and with them just being at Tribeca again for the like second or third time, like we could see a streaming service coming from comic books soon.
I feel like I want to start a film production company and just team up with one of these small presses, like Red 5, like immediately be like, hey, every book you ever put out, either under Red 5 or Stonebot, I'm going to make a movie, and then on my first one will be Mega.
Yeah.
I'll just put a Mega movie out.
We should just have like the indie comic, like small press studios. That's just like what it needs to be, small press studios, and we just make all of the movies and TV shows and whatever, animated, whatever, out of all these small press books. I'm in.
Can we do it real low budget like Troma?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. I'm going to put a lot of Behemoth books into this.
Wait, aren't they the one who...
They have Sumerian
Yeah,
records,
I was about to say, I was like, wait a second, they were Sumerian, but that's a bummer.
Here you go.
Yes, Kaiju score, Steal from the Gods. This is number 3. This is the second volume of this series. There was the original one, which is basically Ocean's 11 during a kaiju making landfall. And they're like, oh, the best time to steal stuff is when there's a kaiju attack. So this second series follows Michelle, who was on the team in that original series. And she now has her own team. And they are going to steal treasure inside the belly of a god-level kaiju called Prodathi or Podathi. I'm not sure 100% on how to pronounce that. Which is just crazy. Like, they decided to go even more bonkers in this second series. And this is the issue 3. So I think last one was 4 issues, right? It was only 4 for that first series?
It was only 4 the first one.
Okay. So,
I don't know that I feel like this will wrap in one.
I doubt it. I would be shocked based on how this issue ended. But this issue follows Michelle and her team as they actually go in and perform the heist. And as you would expect, everything goes completely wrong. And yeah, by the end of this issue, I don't really want to give anything away, but...
everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
And more.
And more.
Yeah.
This is another one that was optioned, so I feel like Aftershock's gonna just keep like letting pump out as many issues and as many books, like volumes of it as they want, because they know that there's an audience coming for it.
Right.
And I'm really excited about that. This is one that I always tell my Aftershock rep, like, no, like Kaiju score, give me more. Like, I love it. And so I can't wait. I can't wait to see how they adapt it, because that is a big, massive universe.
Yes. Also, it's going to be a lot of expensive CG involved with all the kaiju stuff that they do. Yeah, I thought that first series was crazy. This one's gotten even crazier. Yeah. And there's all these fun little twists and turns. It's really great, and it keeps me on my toes. Like I feel like I know what's coming, and then something else happens, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this going now? And now that we've reached the end of this issue, I am way more excited.
I cannot wait to see where this is going to go.
Because, it's about to get really, really crazy in the Kaiju Score universe and for the team. So definitely pick this one up if you haven't. It's almost over.
Yeah.
And, it's options. So I feel like...
And if you didn't read Volume 1 and you want to jump in at Volume 2, you won't be lost, because they recap a little bit of enough of what happened in Volume 1 that you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then if you've seen Ocean's 11, and they do the recap, you're like, I know exactly what happened in that book. I
will say, though, as much as that is the case, I feel like you won't fully understand the journey of Michelle.
I was going to say Michelle's story,
because you really get her backstory. She plays a very pivotal role in that first series. So if you don't read that first series, you'll kind of miss some of the little bits. She
might come off as a bitch in this series if you didn't read the first one. But if you did read the first one, you get the arc and why she is the way she is.
And you're rooting for her even more if you've read that first series.
Yeah, and she's a badass of a character. Like, I want a Fast and the Furious style universe where we just get, like, 12 movies of Kaiju score, and it's like, Kaiju score, like, you know, rides again. Kaiju score, like, family first.
Yes.
Like, we just keep, like, going, like, a million Kaiju score movies, and they're all just, like, stupid action, like, blowing stuff up, and I feel like...
You know, people knock on that Fast and Furious franchise, but it makes a lot of money. And they somehow continue to do it. They got a spin-off movie.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's doing something right.
Yeah, Chad said he feels like if you started a production company, your first project would be desperately trying to pay someone to train pigeons to bring carriers to life. And I feel like that's me, Chad. That is definitely me. That is one of my favorite books that came out, and I would 100% find somebody who could train carrier pigeons to be in my show. I was going to say, Lauren, you could probably train these pigeons. We need to get you on that book. It is Carriers, if you don't know, is the story of some militant pigeons who are the defenders of the city of New York. And it's fantastic, and it is way too serious for the fact that I just said it is about pigeons. I love it, and that would definitely be now number one on my list. Thanks, Chad.
I don't know what book I would want to shoot for first in terms of making into a movie, because there's so many to choose from. I kind of almost would want to do the Me You Love in the Dark.
Oh, the Me You Love in the Dark would be a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
You also would just want to do it so you can meet Scotty Young and Jorge Corona.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, that's fair. Matt would probably make Bunny Mask, and he would be in charge of the casting of Bunny Mask.
I assume, based on his Halloween costume, he would be Bunny Mask.
I mean, could be possible.
You know,
he would want
we
to
have
make
a small budget here.
He would want to make the ominous score soundtrack.
He's going to do that too.
Oh, he has to do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or your new band can be in charge of the score.
Yeah, we will definitely be making the score.
Right, your new band, that's you, Matt, and Nigel, and some crazy instruments.
Nigel on the electric kazoo. And if that doesn't sell you, then you don't know music at all. The fact that the electric kazoo is a thing blows my mind. He busted out his kazoo skills today, and I was like, this is a true parting gift for me. Like, this was better than the hug, the one-armed hug.
Sorry, Nigel.
Yeah.
Chad also said Chicken Devil and Mini Deaths of Layla Starr.
Oh, Chicken Devil would also not be that hard to do.
What'd you say, Matt?
Drop in the comments.
Yeah, drop in the comments if you have other movies other indie, like, small press books that you would want to see as a movie, whether it's our low budget studio or anybody else. Like, if you have like Mini Deaths of Layla Starr, I hope somebody really good makes that movie and it's not me and Phil. But like, if it was, that's still cool too.
I would want Paul Thomas Anderson.
I knew you were gonna say that.
To do Mini Deaths of Layla Starr.
Yeah.
I think he would nail that third issue perfectly. That's what I would want. Yeah, I would not take on that kind of
That's too
task.
big of a task.
Give me like Frankenrocker and the Jailbait Punks or something.
Dude, I will start casting that immediately. Like, let's just actually make a Frankenrocker movie immediately. Like, let's like not even wait. I mean, like, till it's done. We don't need, like, I don't even need to know where it's going to start right now with my casting.
No, I mean,
I'm in. And then we're gonna move on to Rad Wraith, and then eventually Heavy Metal Drummer. It's just gonna be all of those crazy books. Tough. Speaking of crazy books, up next is Bloodstained Teeth, issue 3 from Image Comics.
Yes, Christian Ward. It has a name on the front page, and he's not the artist, which makes me so nervous when I started reading this book. But the artist on this book lives up exactly to what I would want from a book with Christian Ward's name on it. So this is the story of a guy who went around and offered up a service to turn people into vampires. In this, they're called sips, not vampires.
Only if you were created.
Yes.
If you were born and you're part of the original line of vampires, you're still a vampire. But if a vampire turns a human that wasn't a part of that initial like group of vampires, then they're called sips.
That's right. And so this is the story of a guy who turned a bunch of people into sips and is now being told that if he doesn't go back and kill all of them and remove them from the earth and put balance back into everything, then he's going to be killed. So in the first issue, we got a little bit of the backstory. And in the second issue, we see him go up against his first sip, which is a boxer. And in this one, we get him going up against this kid who isn't a race car driver, but likes to just drive cars really fast. And so this is kind of the story of this kid and him chasing him down. But it's also really great because you get that back and forth between him and this side character, which is a ghost.
Yes.
But is basically just a voice in his head of somebody that used to work for him. And it's wonderful. This book is really ridiculous. Patrick Reynolds' art is just so much fun to look at. There's a lot of vampire books on the shelves right now.
Who's the colorist? Is that Heather Moore or is Heather Moore the letterer?
I think Reynolds does both. No, Heather Moore's
Heather
colors.
Moore's colorist? Good job. Good job, Heather Moore. I love these colors.
Yeah, and this, especially too, I feel like sometimes this kind of art style is tough to color because it's so messy. But yeah, the creative team on this book is wonderful. And
what I've liked about the progression of the story is in the very first issue, you thought that he was a really good person.
Yeah.
And, like, you're like, oh, this guy's a good guy. I'm rooting for him. And now it's like, I don't really know that there's anything good about you at all. But, like, I'm still on this journey with you. Let's see how it plays out. Right. But I kind of, like, not really sure that you are somebody worth saving yourself. So I feel like we're going to get a really good redemption arc out of this character because you start thinking, like, oh, they're okay. And then you see all their flaws and their cracks. And then, like, something's going to have to happen where he's actually going to have to either learn to be a good person or he's going to suffer.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see how this plays out. This has just it's been so much fun.
Yeah, I was surprised by it, but I think this is another one of those situations where we're seeing an artist say, hey, I want to be more of a storyteller because I have these really great ideas, and it's actually a good transition. So maybe very much like Scotty Young, we're going to get to the point where it's like, hey, I kind of just want to see Christian Ward just right for a while. Because so far I've enjoyed it. I like the characters. I kind of like a little bit of this world that's being built. Yeah, this is one of my favorite vampire books. Yeah. I feel like I've said that for like 5 or 6 vampire books now, but...
You know what? They're all secretly his favorite vampire books.
Yeah. Maybe I just secretly just love vampires.
You know, it happens. It's okay. Accept it. Up next, we have from AWA Upshot, we've got The Joneses, issue 3 of 5. And this is part of the Resistance universe. So if you didn't start with AWA at the very beginning, the Resistance universe there was a virus and it caused a bunch of people to die. And the people who didn't die ended up got the virus but didn't die, got superpowers. And, it wasn't handled well. And we're seeing all these different books come out that talk about the poor way that Americans handle this situation, essentially. And this particular one is what happens when you live in that suburban, perfect neighborhood and you are one of these superpowered people and you've got the neighborhood watch meetings where they're like, we have to keep these like reborns out of our neighborhood because if they're in our neighborhood, then they're going to ruin everything. And superpowered people are dangerous. And so it's a really great conversation on racism, but also how the neighborhood apps and things have become just a way to gossip about everybody in your neighborhood. And it follows a family called the Joneses, who are all reborns, and they all have a superpower. And the mom is like, I just want to blend in. I just want to be normal. And the dad's like, how can you say that when we have the obligation to help save the world because we have these powers? And the kids are really torn. You've got the daughter who's in her teenage years, so she's like, fuck you, mom, I'm going to save the world. And then you have the younger kid who's being bullied, and he's like, I don't want to use my powers because I don't want to hurt anybody, but I'm being bullied by all these kids at school. And so the sister, of course, sneaks in and is helping him. And it's a really good family story. It's a really good community story. If you didn't read the Resistance books, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I have people who've never read an AWA book that are actually subscribed to this and love it and have no idea that they're even missing something. So if you want to read Resistance, we have the trades. You can come in and grab the Resistance books and kind of continue out on that universe building. But this is one of those non-realistic AWA books that's also still realistic at the same time. They put it in the real world, but it is a superhero book. And actually it's so real world that the Resistance books started the same week that we went into lockdown for the pandemic. So AWA released a book about a virus that killed a bunch of people, and literally on the same week that we went into lockdown for a virus that then ended up killing a bunch of people. So that was a huge a huge, crazy moment for them, and this universe has just continued to grow out really big. And universe started by J. Michael Straczynski, so if you're a Straczynski fan, this is all his universe that he designed.
And I do like that for a lot of these you can kind of jump in and not really have to worry too much about keeping up with it, because I feel like they're up to, what, like 6 or 7 different series in the Resistance universe?
There is Resistance, and then the Resistance sequel volume, and then there is the Joneses, there's Erratic, there's Moths, Telepath is not in the Resistance universe.
Oh, it's not?
Even though it looks like it and sounds like it's actually not. So yeah, we're at like 5 or 6, and Erratic is actually getting, part of Comic Book News tonight, Erratic is actually just announced to have volume 2. So we will see more of that, which I love because that's the YA line. Oh, Bite Size. Bite Size is the other one.
That's it.
Which I don't know if we'll see more from that one or not, but yeah, jump in, find your piece of the universe that you enjoy. If you are, basically it's AWA's way of saying if you are into superheroes, our real world comics can still approach like what you're into, but you're gonna get that AWA real life flair at the same time.
Yeah.
Up next, and hey, what up, Dan? Sorry, Dan just said hi. Dan
What's
Price.
going on, Dan?
The creator and co-writer of Bigfoot Knows Karate.
Yes.
And Dan has a new thing that he just announced. He is doing a Kickstarter with Drew Edwards for a Halloween Man Latex Avenger crossover.
Yes, yeah.
So Dan, if you're still in the chat, if you want to drop a link or information where people can find info about that Kickstarter and support you guys, we'd love for you to drop that in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. Let people know, because I actually picked up some of the Latex Avenger issues when he was here last time, doing the Bigfoot Knows Karate signing, and that stuff's hilarious. Yeah. It's so much fun.
So get on that.
Yeah.
Up next is from Source Point Press. We have Corollary issue number 3.
Yes, this has been one of those kind of like under the radar books that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, this is when you always are like, why didn't I make that a pick of the week? Like when it comes time to talk about it.
Well, I remember when the second issue came out, I was like, I don't think I read this, and you're like, oh no, it's the one about the twins. I was like, oh, I love this one. I think it's a lot of the pinks and blues and purples that are in this. But we're in a futuristic sci-fi world where everyone has a twin, and if your twin dies, you die as well. And we follow these 2 sisters who supposedly one of them died, and the other one still lived, and the whole universe, the whole cosmos wants to know how they did it.
Yeah.
So they're kind of going around, they're like celebrities in the cosmos, but they're also trying to raise money to free their parents who have been imprisoned.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here, but it's mostly them going around and meeting with all these other planets, and people are like, what's the secret? You know, how is this possible? And you find out at the end of issue 1 that one of the sisters implanted her brain into a spaceship. And that's kind of how they do it, and they trade off this one body. So every once in a while, one of them will be the spaceship and the other one will go out, and they each have kind of like their different personalities and their different skill sets. And they was just kind of trying to figure out how to get this money. And so this one, they're in an event. And you find out that they actually may not be able to do more transfers. Like, they never at any point were saying like, oh, we can't keep switching bodies, it's gonna have an effect. Well, in this one, that's actually like, we'll know maybe like 1 or 2 more times can we transfer. So one of us is at some point gonna permanently have to be the spaceship.
Yeah.
And that whole conversation is going on in the middle of a bunch of other crazy stuff. They're being chased by mercenaries.
Right.
You know, it's a lot.
Right. It's like a space version of Moon Knight's like war with himself of like which personality is coming out and when should they come out. Because there's all those moments where it's like, hey, this is a fight. I'm good at that. Switch bodies. We gotta switch bodies. And so they do that a lot in the series. And the whole thing, like trying to save your parents, it's just like a really cool story. And it's cool to see them working together. And I can't wait to see more of how this plays out. It's been such a good book. It's fun. Every book is a good, like, standalone adventure almost, while it has this awesome overarching story for them.
Yeah, and I love the back and forth between the 2 sisters. It's just been a ton of fun, and I definitely feel like they are trying to rush towards the finale here. Yeah. I don't think this is going to go more than like 4 or 5 issues, probably 5 if I were to take a guess. But we're definitely ramping up towards that third act and kind of everything coming to a head. But it's been a ton of fun. This is just kind of one of those that after I knew what it was in issue 2, like now I'm excited when I see this coming up. And it's just a lot of fun. And again, especially Chad, who I know also loves those pinks and blues and purples. A lot of that is in this book.
Right, and if you're a Peach Momoko art fan, this is another person who you should be watching. Like Peach Momoko, Marguerite Sauvage, any of those like watercolor color pencil almost art styles. Andrea Muti even. Yeah, if you're a fan of any of those art styles, this is a book you should check out.
Yeah.
And then for those watching, for those watching on Facebook, Dan just posted the link for the Kickstarter in there. If you're watching this later on YouTube, we will try to remember to comment that link into the links on YouTube so you can catch that link for Dan's Kickstarter for Latex Avenger Halloween Man crossover. Up next is Rogue Sun issue 5 from Image Comics. And we were just talking about Radiant Black and how it's amazing that Radiant Black already has an Image first, because we are only like 13 issues into 14 issues into Radiant Black. But more impressive than that to me is that Radiant Black already has 2 spin-off series, and one of them is Rogue Sun, which is on issue 5, which is incredible, and Radiant Red also out this week, which is on issue 4. And it's amazing to me that you're 1 year into your book, and you already have 2 spin-offs, which the third one is already planned. You've already had a massive crossover event in an oversized issue. And you've done all of this so quickly. And for me, the part about the Radiant Black universe that I love is the humanistic story and the way that those characters connect and things like that. Rogue Sun actually is awkward.
We have production issues.
Yay! Okay. Rogue Sun is actually a complete family drama. Rogue Sun was a superhero who shows up in Supermassive, which is the crossover of all the Radiant Black Universe stories. And Rogue Sun was a man who was a superhero. And in issue 1 of Rogue Sun, the comic book, that man who's that superhero dies on like page 2. No like major shock spoiler there, like that, you know, because that happens like literally on like the first or second page. And he like wills his superpower like system essentially to his son from his first marriage. So this man like got married, left his like wife and child, and then years later got remarried, had new kids, has this whole like happy perfect life, but he's also working as a superhero, and he ends up willing all of his superhero stuff to the son he's never actually, like, hasn't seen since the kid was, like, 1. And so this is the story of that kid trying to, now have to come to terms with the fact that, like, what he considered was a deadbeat dad was actually the greatest superhero in their universe. And B, is now that superhero. And C is, like, I have to deal with, like, all of this, like, family drama for this whole new family that I didn't even know I had, and I was fine with it just being me and my mom, and now I'm stuck being a superhero. I'm stuck with my, like, dad's legacy. I'm stuck with his family that I never wanted to be connected to, and also all of the drama that brings up for my mom that now I'm reconnected to my dad. And so this series just, it's like every time, much like in the Radiant Black universe, where every time it's like, oh, we're going to do a lot of action, it's like, whoa, we're actually going to do, while we're doing all that action, though, it's going to be a whole family story. We're going to be talking about your emotions. We're going to be building through it. This is Ryan Parrott's book in the Radiant Black universe. So if you didn't know, Radiant Black is written by Kyle Higgins, who is one of the main Power Rangers writers at Boom Studios, and the counterpart to Kyle Higgins has always been Ryan Parrott, also working on Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. So they essentially went to Image and just created their own, very similar to Power Rangers-esque universe, but where they actually get to tell these original stories and really build out the humanistic qualities of it. Radiant Black nominated for Best New Series at the Eisners. Really curious to see where we go from there. With Radiant Black, to see if it does actually like win that, which is going to be hard because I believe it's up against probably a Tynion book, but Yeah, or two. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who pulls that out, because for me, the fact that it did create such a big universe so quickly, and such a powerful universe that's drawn in so many people who are like, I don't read indie books, to the indie market. I think that's exceptional, and it speaks highly to what Radiant Black is doing, and Rogue Sun by association. And there are people who subscribe to Rogue Sun who have never read Radiant Black.
Oh,
and they're
really?
not lost, because he does not mention Radiant, like I think in the first issue, he makes like a one-off comment about Radiant Black up in Chicago, and then we've never talked about Radiant Black ever again. So this completely like is unconnected. And then in Radiant Black, he'll mention like, oh, Rogue Sun down in Louisiana, but like he doesn't even know what's going on with this Rogue Sun situation. So this is completely unconnected. Radiant Red is very much more tied into the Radiant Black universe, but that is why they kind of gave them very different names.
Right.
Because they don't have the same power source. They don't need to interact at all. They're very far away from each other, and it is a completely different story. But if you like Invincible and any of those image superhero kind of stories, you need to check out the Radiant Black and Rogue Sun universes.
Or if you've been enjoying the Power Rangers universe, which has probably been the best it's been in a while. I really like this because it seems like it was two writers who were doing something very successful with an already licensed property, and they're like, well, wait a second, what if we take all of our best ideas and we own the rights to all of this? So I always love when creators do that, and they realize like, hey, maybe they need us more than we need them, so let's go do our own thing. And they've been killing it. I mean, the universe that they've built in such a short span of time is impressive.
Yes. Up next from Source Point Kids, only kids, we don't bring a lot of kids' books on the live stream, but we'll never not bring this one, because it is issue 4 of Trash and Cannit, Disposable Heroes. If you haven't read Trash and Cannit yet, do yourself a favor. I don't even care. Start at the beginning if you can. I can't wait for this to be in a trade. But honestly, if you just pick up one of them and laugh your way through it in the store, you'll thank me. This is the story of 2 trash cans who are detectives, and that's why they're called disposable heroes, because they're literally trash. And they got partnered with the mayor's son, because the mayor wanted to get his son out of the way. So he is a gumball. So he is literally a gumshoe detective. And they are all working together to solve a crime that started with some French fries. And it's fantastic. It's ridiculous. It is full of the best puns and dad jokes that you like. If you thought you knew puns, you have not even begun to kind of break the ice that they do. Yeah. And in this issue, there's actually a scene where Sirloin, who is a steak, is talking to the Mayor McGumball. And Mayor McGumball is like, this situation that we're in is really, and Sirloin is like, sticky, and he's like, precarious. And he's like, why wouldn't you have gone with sticky? And he's like, well, don't those words mean the same thing? And he's like, yeah, but only one of them is funny. And he's like, so the situation we're in is, and he's like, sticky. And he's like, why do you keep trying to force me to say this? He's like, don't you get what we're doing here? And so it's almost like a little bit of a fourth wall break. But, he's just like, so, like, he dad jokes it. He's like, but sir, you're a gumball. Gum is sticky. Like, why wouldn't you? And so I love that we're like, the puns aren't enough anymore. We really have to dad joke this entire issue of this comic. And there is still a story. Like, they've been protecting these kids who got mixed up, kidnapped essentially, and they've been trying to stop it, and these donuts are the bad guys, and the whole thing has been they were the only ones who could go in and solve this crime, because it was anything that was not organic food would be corrupted by all the chemicals that they had to fight against. So they sent them, because there's nothing, they're all inorganic matter. So it's been great. I love it.
I feel like their tactic was, there's going to be dads who are going to read this with their kids, and the dads are going to love it to the point where they're like, well, we have to go back. Trash and Cannit's out. You have to read it. We have to get it. And there you have, 2 fans for the price of 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's fantastic. Read it. Read it today. Don't care what your age is.
Yeah, also read more kids' books.
Read more kids' books.
Because there's a lot of really great kids' books out there.
They're so good.
So good.
Up next from Behemoth is Heavy Metal Drummer issue whatever this is.
4.
4. It's only 4?
Yeah.
No. It's got to be more. Turn it around. It's
5.
Haha.
I thought I saw a 4 on here.
Well, no, you didn't.
There's not a number on here.
Phil, tell them why you love this book so much.
So this is not a kid's book.
No, it's the opposite end of the spectrum.
This is the very far end of the spectrum. I feel like so far to this point, we have yet to actually talk about what this book is about. All you need to know is there's a heavy metal drummer, and he is on a mission, very much in the same sense as like They Live. Mm-hmm. If you saw They Live, which is a phenomenal 80s action movie, kind of in the same vein, there's some crazy stuff going on, and this is the guy who's got to take it down. And the outside world kind of views him as a crazy killer. He's got cops after him as he slowly works towards his mission. And I feel like for the first time, we actually got drumming.
We did. We did see
book.
some drumming in this book. We've been waiting for that.
Yes.
Every week we're like, there's no drumming. Or every month we're like, there's no drumming in this book. And this time there was, in fact, drumming. Yes.
Finally, 5 issues in, we can now prove that he is actually a heavy metal drummer. Although it's a very short-lived career for him, it seems like. I mean, you're picking up this book for the art. I feel like every time we've talked about this book, we'll show like 1 or 2 really trippy pages. This is actually the first issue that there's really
normal.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it kind of feels like as much crazy stuff that goes on in this issue. I feel like this is the most tame issue we've gotten. But it also kind of amped up like the cheesy dialogue. Like there's a point where he's like, well, I guess it's time to go pay a visit to Granny. And you're like, oh God, here we go. But you're on board because this book is just
fantastic.
It's wild. I know a lot of those early issues are hard to find.
Issue 2.
Yeah.
Issue 2 is the hardest one to find because we ordered it before issue 1 came out. So most retailers drop their orders on like 2 and 3 a lot of times because they don't know if one's going to sell. And we sold out of issue 1 on day 1, and it was too late to add to my issue 2 order. So there are a lot of people who got into issue 1 and then didn't get issue 2 and then were like, screw it, I'm still in, give me issue 3.
Yeah.
And so they've been like continuing to go, but they didn't get an issue 2, and they're like, I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you can kind of piece together what's going on based off. But issue 2 was also very trippy. There was a lot of really crazy stuff in that one. But
the one where we went to like the cat world for a second. Yeah. This book it's just gone all over the place. You have no idea really where it's going to end up. But it's very crazy and a lot of fun to look at. So if you can get all 5 issues at this point, I highly recommend it. Also, it's one of those smaller Behemoth books, which I kind of hope that we start seeing more of. Yeah, I'll show. Here, I have a book right
you have a book.
The next one.
There's books everywhere. But yeah, you can kind of see it's a bit shorter and a bit wider, maybe?
No, I think it's the same width because it fits in the bag and board.
All right, so it's just a bit shorter. But I will say, one of the things that I love about Behemoth is their paper quality has not faltered.
No, not at all.
In a time where there is a paper shortage, they have done a really wonderful job of keeping these nice, high quality, glossy covers. But yeah, if you can't get it, wait for it to come out in trade.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's going to be great. All right, so we got some endings and some beginnings. So first up on the endings, we've got Primos issue 4 of 4. And I will say that this is an AWA book, so this is the end of volume 1. And we've been worried about that, though, with Primos, because we were like, all the first 3 issues did was kind of introduce the characters. Don't really know what's going. It does actually let us know that we will be getting a second volume in the ads at the back, so that's really great. But this is the story of a young boy who finds out that he is the descendant of some great warriors who have magical powers, and he is given a staff, and he kind of has like, it's almost like the Spectre.
Yeah.
And he has to go and line up with some of his cousins, his primos, and save the world. But he really only cares about like saving his little brother. And this issue is actually great because it kind of talks about that, like how like sometimes we don't think about our siblings like we don't think we have a good relationship with our siblings until we see other people who actually hate their sibling, and then we're like, I would do anything for my sibling. Why is this person so mean?
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun seeing the introduction of these characters, and I can't wait to see what they do in another volume. But it's done, the art is done by Carlo Barberi, who actually I believe lives in Mexico. He is a Mexican artist, and Al Madrigal, who is from Daily Show, I believe.
Yes.
One of those, yeah. And so it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely feels like a very quick done, like, first volume to get you to know everybody, and we kind of saw this first, like, adventure a little quickly, like, as we're going, but it is because it is a setup to hopefully building a bigger universe for these characters.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I really like the main character, the little kid. He's kind of got that, like, Damian Wayne
very much
kind of mentality. There's a lot of really great pop culture references that I enjoy throughout it. So
the key is they're pop culture references that you get if you're in your 30s.
Yes.
So don't feel like because he is a Damian Wayne aged kid that you're going to be like, but I didn't get that reference at all. In fact, a Damian Wayne aged kid is not going to get that reference. But the book's not made for kids. It is not a kid's book at all.
But it's basically Damian Wayne. What Damian Wayne's with basically the mind of a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, if all of his friends were 30. And he decided to use that. He's got, you know, it's been fun. I'm excited to see that there's going to be a volume 2, because I by the end of issue 3, I was like, how are you going to even wrap all this up and take it somewhere? So I'm excited. I think it was a good setup so far. And AWA, if you want to wait for that trade, $9.99.
Right,
always
usually
a
out
good
like a month
pickup.
later.
Yeah, so.
And Primos issue 4 has been delayed with all the paper shortages, so we might actually see that trade coming out really fast, even faster than we usually do with AWA. Next up, issue 4 of Cowboy Bebop. This is the last issue of Cowboy Bebop, the adaptation essentially of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, this is which is interesting because it's a whole new story, and it's pretty much like you're just getting another episode of Cowboy Bebop, but more with the feeling of the TV show, the live action show, which sadly is already canceled. So I'll be curious if they even decide to do more of these. Obviously, because we're friends with Lamar, we would love to see them continue the Cowboy Bebop stuff. But it's been fun. I love Lamar's art. It is. I mean, pick it up for that, because what a very talented local creator.
Absolutely.
Who's just been killing it. And, yeah, I'd like to see more of this. I really enjoyed this. They introduced some new characters to it, and they're just kind of expanding on the Cowboy Bebop universe, which I feel like they just should always do. You know, take animes that haven't seen anything new in quite some time and just turn them into comic books.
Absolutely.
You know, where's my Trigun comic book? But American version. I mean, obviously the mangas are great, but, like, let's see what some American creators can do with some of these stories. Because, I mean, I have so many friends that sit around and talk about, like, what they would do with anime universes and the stories that they would build. So I feel like let's just do more of that.
Yeah. Up next, and I was going to say before we go to that Cowboy Bebop was done by Titan Comics, which is a British comic publisher. So you said American, and they They did hire American, like, artists, obviously, because Lamar is here in Austin, but it is actually a British publisher.
Is Dan Waters English?
I don't know. You don't know. You'd have to look that up. He's also trying to look stuff up because he doesn't want to have to hold up the next book that I'm going to try to not spoil for him. But issue 15 of Homesick Pilots from Image Comics, which is the official end of Homesick Pilots.
He's English.
He is English?
He's from London.
Yeah. I have been not wanting to see the end of this series for so long. They talked about this, like, so many months ago. And I've been like, I can't do it. I don't want it to end. But I'm glad I read it. I know you're like, I'm not going to read it until I'm ready. But I'm glad I did because it was so good.
When you told me it was wrapping up in the next handful of issues, I stopped at 11 and was like, okay, I'm going to wait till it's all done. I'm going to give it a little bit. Maybe I'll wait for an announcement of a mini-series or a continuation in some shape or form. But yeah, this is one I'm sad to see go.
Yeah, and it has been such a good book.
I'll show a little art.
Yeah,
just
don't ruin
so
too
know.
much for yourself. But you have to show the art because you love Casper Wingard's
Yeah, Casper
art.
Wingard, top 5 artists for me right now.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. He did one of the backup stories in Past the Last Mountain.
Which was great.
Which was great. I love his art so much. This story's been awesome. If you like ghosts and punk rock music, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? This is the story, essentially, of 2 punk bands in the 80s who are, like, you know, just a bunch of kids who have some punk bands, and they're always trying to outdo each other. And one band plays in a bowling alley, so the other one, the Homesick Pilots, is like, well, we're going to play in a haunted house. And they wander into the haunted house to figure out if it's worth, like, trying to figure out a setup to play in. And they get captured by the house. And this entire series has basically been about one member of the Homesick Pilots having to find every ghost of every spirit that's ever lived in the house and return it essentially to the house. It's not that creepy, but it's kind of like a punk rock fun version of 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes way off that beaten path.
Yeah.
Like, this
crazy.
is not your typical haunted house story.
Mm-hmm.
This goes in a whole bunch of different directions. You're like, I feel like by the time I got to issue 11, I was like, how did we get here?
Oh, yeah.
From issue 1.
When we got to volume 2, I was like, how did we get here?
Yeah, what's going on? But I mean, this is, I feel like for the first 6 or 7 issues, I was saying that this is one of the best comics that was out.
And I have a thing where I think some of the best, like, I love open endings. I'm an absolute, like, my favorite ending in literature is probably an open ending, which is a, like, unpopular opinion by far. But in movies, I like circular endings. Like, I like where it feels like it came back to where it started, like you got back to where you started from. And this has that kind of feel where I was like, oh man, that was beautifully done. Like, what a nice bow you put on that book. I love it. And so I 100% recommend getting it. Somebody today asked me, do you think Homesick Pilots will get a hardcover collection now that it's over and it was only 15 issues? And I was like, Phil hopes so.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
I need the hardcover, and I need more. Like,
yeah.
Let's just keep it going. Let's expand on this universe because I think there's a lot of really cool things you can do.
Yeah. This is obviously not a number 1, but anytime it's an anthology, I just throw it in with number 1s because it's a one shot essentially.
Well,
but
there's a certain name on there.
Issue 11 of Silver Coin, and boy, did I screw this up because this is the James Tynion issue of Silver Coin. If you don't know, Silver Coin is an anthology created by Michael Walsh, and he's doing the art on all of it. And he just keeps asking friends who are creators to come on and write a story about what if you got a coin that would grant whatever your wish was, but in a monkey paw situation, it does not give you what you want. It gives you what it wants. And it's always dark and terrible. And this is James Tynion's issue, and I literally only ordered it for, like, subs +1. And I was like, oh no. Like, I was, like, hiding under the table while I was doing it because I felt like I messed up because everybody who loves James Tynion needs to read it. So we have this one copy. You can all share it. And it is fantastic. It is about a diner that's right next door to, we're just going to call it what it is, a McDonald's, but they have a fake name for it, right. But it has the arches. And so they're next door to a McDonald's, and so nobody's coming in to eat at the diner anymore. And the owner's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay. Like, why do y'all keep coming to work? I can't pay you. I can't do anything. And so a guy leaves the older lady, you know, I love older ladies that work in diners. They're always the best. And so this sassy older lady at this diner, who's the waitress, gets a tip, and all it is the silver coin. And she's like, what is this? This isn't even real money. Like, how rude. And she goes to throw it away, and the younger girl's like, no, like, maybe that means it's a lucky coin. You should make a wish on it. So she wishes that the diner would have customers, and they would be hungry. They would be ravenously hungry. And so suddenly the next day when they show up, the diner has a line around the entire door or store, and like people just come in and they start eating and they can't stop eating.
Oh no.
And it gets crazy in a James Tynion way. really quickly. I loved it. It was almost a pick of the week. Like, honestly, it's that book that I'm like, this is kind of a pick of a week, but I'm not going to say it's pick of the week, like, you know, but it really is. It was such a good story, and it's like James Tynion was like, ooh, let me just play with some horror that doesn't have any, I mean, it has a message, but it doesn't have, like, that super, like, James Tynion, I don't have to build a universe, I don't have to get super deep. It was like James Tynion just wanted to throw some classic horror at us for a second, and it was so good.
It's crazy to see. I feel like Tynion did one of the earlier issues. I thought Tynion was on, like, issue 2 or 3.
Zdarsky, we've had Kelly Thompson, we've had Jeff Lemire, we've had, oh my god, I can't even remember. Ram V did one.
Okay.
Oh my god. There's been so many and I cannot remember, but Zdarsky was first. And then Rosenberg did his. And basically every indie creator is probably, that's a name that you love, is probably going to get one of these at some point. And Chad, yes, Chad immediately commented Ram V. We know, Chad. We know. All right, so we got some number ones really fast. I'm going to do this one first. Monstrous from Source Point Press, Book of the Dead. So there is a Monstrous book previously. It's kind of like reference, like this is like a book that's existed before, and this is a new volume of it. But this is basically some mummies looking for the Book of the Dead, so that the husband is a dad and the daughter, and they're looking for the Book of the Dead so they can bring the mom back to them. They came back to life, and they want to find that. And we see some of the other Universal monsters. This is issue 1 of 4, and if you didn't read the other Monstrous book, I feel like it just feels like a Mummies Alive story.
Yeah.
There is some printing errors in this book, though, that were confusing.
Okay, I was going to ask because I was not quite sure what was going on in this book. At first, I kind of thought it was they kept dying.
Yeah.
And had to redo over to get to the mom, which I was kind of like, this is a cool concept.
Kind of works. I don't know. Maybe that is it. I felt like it was a printing error because it's the exact same page multiple times. But I like your version of it better because that's like, oh, we're reliving the story. But I was like, oh, that feels a little disjointed. And then later, when it actually got to that page again, I was like, oh, that makes sense here.
Right.
Okay, so we went into this, like, other world, and this is us in the other world. So, I mean, if you read it the way you read it, I guess that still makes sense.
I mean, that was the only way that I could make sense of it, because I was like, why are we seeing this page again? And I there was these vibes throughout where it was like, they keep trying to save the mom or work towards saving the mom, and then they hit, like, a little speed bump, and they die. And then it's like, hey, why should we let you live or go on? Yeah, I was very confused, but I really enjoyed the art in this book. Like, I was really impressed, especially, like, the colors for the space issues are, like, these cosmic issues. And you'll see this is the one that's reprinted a bunch of times.
And there's 2 pages that are reprinted.
Yeah, so you're kind of confused, but I kind of enjoy it. I
still enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, like, the daughter's a total badass.
The daughter is super cool. We just talked about why do we not go with the mummies? Why do we keep going with the vampires and the werewolves? Why don't we go with the mummies? And it's like Source Point was listening. They gave us the mummies. And the hippo goddess from Moon Knight is in this. And everybody's like, we need more of this hippo goddess. Well, the Egyptian hippo goddess is actually in this book. So, it's super cool.
Yeah, this art. I love this art.
Yeah.
A lot of great colors. Yeah, I think come in and pick this up and then let us know if it's a printing error or if there's some weird, like, I don't know.
I want to know, like, what... Yeah, because it works both ways.
It does.
It could easily be that they printed the same page and, like, stapled it in twice, like, to this, like, particular issue. It could not even be on all of them. I don't know. But I'm like, is this the error edition? Like, don't look at it. It's mine. No. But yeah, we'll see. Another new number 1 this week is one that a lot of people have asked me about, is Beware the Eye of Odin from Image Comics. Did you get to read this one?
I did get to read this one. I typically stray away from the fantasy style books. As much as I love playing D&D, I just never really got into it. A lot of it has to do, especially with books that involve Odin is Greek mythology?
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology. You see, I don't even know which mythology it is because it's a lot of it's confusing. Their names are confusing, but this book follows Helgi.
Yes.
Is that how you say that?
Yes.
I said that correctly? Okay. It follows Helgi, who has believed that he has always been cursed. And has kind of just really, like, he's heard all these stories that his dad has told him about trolls and frost giants. And up until this point, he always just thought they were myths. They were just random stories that his dad was telling him. But it turns out that maybe his dad was actually telling real stories. And now he has to go on this quest. He found this frost giant's eye that basically was like, if you don't return this to a frost giant, then you die. It'll be a painful death of boils. So he sets out, kind of the unlikely hero, is teamed up with the old time, kind of past his prime warrior, and this girl who
is my favorite character in the book. She wants to be a Valkyrie so bad that she's made her own Valkyrie, like, fake wings. And it's a cape that she made, but they can stretch out like wings. And they're like, why are you here? And she's like, every soldier needs their own Valkyrie. And they're like, you're not a Valkyrie. And she's like, well, I have these wings. Where else did I get them from? Yeah. And they're like, you made them. And she's like, I don't understand how that's the issue here. Like, and then she's the one who's wild and takes on all the creatures and is like, oh, you need to do this. And so she's just a total badass who's also the comic relief at the same time. Yes. And I love that combination.
Yeah, and so this is, the three characters you never would expect to have to team up and go on this adventure. And it's been really fun so far. They run into these adorable little creatures that are like little
Hunderfolk, which are actually from Norse mythology.
Oh, they're real?
Everything in there is from Norse mythology.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a little more intrigued by Norse mythology. Maybe I'll get the Neil Gaiman thing.
Actually, that's a really good way to do it. I have a customer who, she is getting her degree in Norse mythology, and she comes in and gets the Norse mythology issues to help her better understand. She's like, Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology is actually, like, the most accessible version of Norse mythology. So when I don't understand what the hell I just read, I just get the comic book version of it and look at what Neil Gaiman said and the art, and then it makes sense.
Okay.
So that's actually a great idea. It comes in hardcovers.
You're not supposed to tell me these things.
I know. Phil was here when I did the FOC earlier, and I was like, hey, Phil, guess what? There's this hardcover. Hey, Phil, there's this hardcover. Hey, Phil. And he was like, stop it.
Well, because before you say it.
I do. And I've already ordered it for you.
You're like, don't be mad, but there's a Flintstones hardcover. I'm like, why would you tell me that? I love that series.
And I've already written it into the thing that I'm getting it, and I'm like, I've already submitted the order at that point. But I'm like, hey, Phil, guess what? Right, and the Yada Floor one. If you didn't know, there's an upcoming hardcover for Wonder Girl. And it's all of the Future State issues. It's all of Yada Floor's miniseries. It's all of the Child of the Amazons. It's anything that Yada Floor has appeared in is all collected into this one hardcover that Phil bought today. So, congratulations, Phil. Yeah. I'm very proud of you.
But, if you like more Norse mythology,
this is your book.
Then this is a good book. And I do really like it. The characters are really great. And so far to this point, I like the world that they've built out. So.
And it's a very thick book.
Yes. Yeah.
Very thick.
Definitely not your standard 22 pages.
No, it's like a 40-page book.
Yeah, it's great.
And then lastly, for new books of the week, we've got issue 1 of Behemoth's new title, The Illusion Witch, which I have been waiting for a while because it's about a witch and I don't really care. This is essentially, this is Behemoth telling more like a... I almost called it like almost a sexploitation feeling book, but it's a Behemoth like 70s style Zatanna book.
Yes.
This is about a girl who her dad was an illusionist, and now she is working as an illusionist, and she doesn't know how to deal with any emotions, so she runs away from anything bad that happens. And so she's kind of just made herself really hard to the outside world and buried herself in her craft of being an illusionist. But she calls herself the Illusion Witch. And because of that, we have this a fantasy world that is in trouble, and they have come to her.
Yeah.
They are coming to her for a solution, and we'll see if she actually like knows magic or not. We're gonna learn this as we go along.
Yeah, I mean, whereas I don't really do, I'm not, like, witches has never been a thing for me. I do like illusions. I'm a sucker for, like, card magic and all that kind of stuff. And I've always been intrigued by stories that are centered around that. And this one I really enjoyed. I like the backstory with the main character. I kind of like this, like, you almost want to not like her.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really rooting for her in a way, but I think that's going to play out because, you know, she's not really someone that you would call a hero.
Yeah.
And she's going to be, you know, pushed into this world where she has to be the hero. I definitely get this exploitation vibes. Yeah. I was a little concerned, especially when I saw the back cover. I was like, these are not my kind of books. I'm not really interested in this. But then there's this, like, adorable little magical
gopher looking thing.
Yeah, like a ferret gopher. And if you're gonna put him in this series or her, if you're gonna continue this little creature,
you've just sold Lauren on the book. She's freaking out.
Yeah, it's adorable, and I want to see it throughout the whole book. And I think you will get a chance to see that character. It's gonna be kind of like the little sidekick, but yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah, just pass that one that way when you're done.
And it's Behemoth, so of course, you know, we're gonna root for it.
And it's not the undersized Behemoth; it's a regular comic size book. So, yeah. Those are the hot new titles. We've got a couple picks of the week that we want to share with you, and I'm really excited about some of these picks this week. So, yes. Let's start with the one that's already been out before, since we've kind of talked about this. But this is I Hate This Place issue 2 from Image Comics. And our one of our favorite creators right now, Kyle Starks.
Kyle Starks been doing a great job.
Yeah.
This was a pick of the week with issue 1.
Yes.
So this is the story of a couple who inherits a ranch, and they go out there and discover that there's all this crazy stuff that happens on this ranch. There's ghosts and all sorts of demons. There's a a man with antlers that is going to come into play at some point. But we are introduced to kind of what's going to take place on this ranch and with this couple, which I love the couple, by the way.
I love the couple. They're two very different people, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, you have like kind of like the free-spirited, happy-go-lucky character, and then the other one's like the doomsday prepper.
Whose parents were, like, she was a military brat growing up, so she's like, I'm prepared. Like, her bag in issue 1 when they go out there is just guns and weapons.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, that's what I got to do. My job is to protect you because you're just a precious cinnamon roll of a human being and who won't ever do anything.
Right. And so at the first issue, we are they let us know about everything and what to expect. And then in this issue, they go to a tarot card reader.
Because they don't know who can and cannot help them with the ghost situation. So they go to a psychic. Yeah. And the psychic reads their tarot. And I will say, because I know there's several of our followers who are tarot fans, I am very excited because when they're like, oh, what is this about? The tarot reader flips over the death card and they immediately panic. And the reader says, no. In the tarot, the death card doesn't actually mean death. It means change. It means, all of these other things. And I was like, I'm so excited that they did that. And then she's like, but the thing is in the tarot that it can also sometimes mean death. And we immediately see what that means for them. And I love that scene. That was the most like horror movie-esque scene that we got. Like, this whole thing reads much like Six Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, where I felt like I was watching the movie the whole time. Yeah. This one is another one that just kind of feels like a movie the entire time, where I'm like, oh man, the next scene that's the one. Right. Like, it's gonna be so good. Like, great horror book.
Yeah, this one's been a ton of fun. It's got a little bit of violence. I think the art's great. The two main characters are wonderful. We're just scratching the surface. Also, there's this whole side story of an escaped criminal who just kind of like worked his way onto this ranch. and you have no idea how he's even going to play into this.
Yeah.
But it's been a ton of fun so far.
We were both, you were reading it, and I had already read it, and you were just, like, laughing and having a blast reading it, which is great, because it is a horror, but it is also funny. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Shaun of the Dead, where you've got your horror elements, but it's still really funny the whole time. And you're laughing, and then you're like, dude, I love this book. And I'm like, I know, right? And we start talking about it, and Josh is like, save it for your show!
Yeah.
And we're like, we can't! We gotta talk about it right now. We're so excited. That's how you know a book is a pick of the week, when Phil and I will have an entire conversation before and probably after this live stream about a book, then you know it's something that we're both like, read this book.
Well, it's funny because, you know, they make a comment, you know, because the whole point of the issue is like they don't know, they need answers.
Yeah.
And there's one little panel where there's like an offhanded joke where they're watching TV and they laugh at something, and then that comes back at the end of the issue. And I pretty much, when it got to the end of this issue, was like, I need issue three almost right immediately, because you're going to introduce another character
who's going to be absurd.
And I'm going to immediately fall in love with.
Oh my god, like, we are about to get Dog the Bounty Hunter of Ghost, and I cannot wait. I'm just going to tell you that so you know to start buying this book right now.
All those like douchey ghost hunter shows that you watch.
Got nothing on this guy.
Nothing.
I cannot wait for him to be introduced. And This was one of those books like I Hate Fairyland, where that's not actually the real title of the book. This is another one of those books that I hate is not actually the name of the book. If you know, I Hate Fairyland is actually called Fuck Fairyland. This is Fuck This Place. We do have those covers, because that is the cover B for all of them. If you can't find it, let us know, because we don't put them... we don't alternate them like we do other covers, just so that doesn't end up in children's eyesight. So if you're looking for the fuck variant, let us know. That sounds so bad when you just say it like that. Up next is from Dark Horse Comics, issue 1 of The Lonesome Hunters, which is a book that I did not think I was going to like based on the cover. And then I was like, that cover doesn't really necessarily appeal to me. And then it was like, I really hope Phil likes this book, because this is definitely my picks of the week.
So, interestingly enough, this book was all over my social media.
Really?
All over. Facebook, I was getting a ton of stuff. I mean, it seemed like this was a book that Dark Horse was really pushing.
And it should.
It is Tyler Crook. I know he's done stuff like Harrow County for Dark Horse. I think he's kind of one of those artists that Dark Horse really enjoys having around, because his art is beautiful.
And he's doing both on this, right?
Yes. He is writing and doing the art for it. And this is the story of a kid who is given a magical sword to kind of fight magical villains and demons, and it's wonderful, but he basically ends up cowering out.
Yeah, doesn't actually do what he's supposed to do when he's a young kid. But the thing is that kind of like in, you know, Arthurian mythology, if you pull the sword from the stone, the sword protects you. So now he's like not immortal, but will live for a really long time to fight these demons. And he's just does not want to actually do it. He's even afraid of the kids on his block.
Yeah.
And has to get 2 blocks down from the kids before he yells back, get off my lawn. And it's so you see this coward of a person who has been given this all power, and he's so scared to do it. And now we are in our time, it's fast forwards to our time, and this guy there are some crazy demonic possession kind of situations going on, and he has to step up, or a little girl is gonna die.
Right. I already love that story of you have this destiny, and you're like, I don't really want to do the destiny. I'm not cut out for it. And instead, you just grow old and live a very normal life. I mean, like you said, he yells at a bunch of kids. It's like that angry old man that tells you to get off his lawn. Has a very magical, cool sword in his closet that he's never going to use, but now is kind of forced to. I think this book is going to hit me in the feels.
Oh my god, so much. Yes.
A lot. The writing on this is great right off the bat. Yeah, I kind of knew this was going to happen just because of how much they pushed the book. Like, I saw this on my social media 2-3 times a week.
Which is crazy because they didn't push it to us as comic book stores. Which is insane. Because I actually, had no idea. This is one of those books where I ordered it and then had no idea what it was when I got here. And I was like, I don't know what it is. The cover, it's just like a dude with a sword,
Mm-hmm.
and like a girl, and it's kind of like, it's not but it has birds, and birds terrify me because of the birds, and so I'm like, this could be dark and creepy,
Yeah.
and then I started reading it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so happy that it is, because it's such a good book, and I can't wait for issue 2, and I'm like, I want to see this character's growth so bad, because he's going to have to step up for the first time, and it's like a horror movie version of Up.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a guy who failed in every direction.
Maybe not horror movie.
I mean,
well,
there's demon
sorta.
possession and
kind
things
of,
like
sorta,
that.
Yeah.
But it's like this, it's the guy the old man who wants to be crotchety, live on his own, be left alone, and not ever take on the adventure or do any of the things. And then he gets, this kid is the only reason he starts doing any of his stuff. And so it's like the horror movie version of Up, and I'm kind of here to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought. But again, it was pushed in my face for multiple weeks. Mm-hmm. This is the hot new title from Tyler Crook.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cool, but what's it going to be about? And I think it's fantastic. I also really like the design of the sword. Yeah. I like that it's kind of like a square, or I guess more of a rectangle.
The sword reminds me of Halifax from God Country, which I was in.
And honestly, I think that was probably the appeal for me, where I was like, oh, this gives me God Country vibes.
The first 2 pages, when they start talking about the sword, I was like, this gives me God Country vibes. Yeah. I'm kind of interested. Yeah.
Yeah, so. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be well written. Look, I put God Country. I say it's one of the best,
modern comics.
Yeah, like one of the best modern comics. Donny Cates just knocked that out of the park.
It's the best thing Donny Cates has ever done, other than making deviled eggs, according to my husband.
God Country, I think is his best work.
I wish y'all could see Matt just having a moment of drool come down his face, thinking of Donny Cates' deviled eggs, Chef's kiss. Donnie, we love your deviled eggs, and you too, but mostly your deviled eggs. All right, we got one more pick of the week, and this is a prestige format from Source Point, which we've never had a prestige format from Source Point.
Right.
And this is Nook #1, and this is one of those where even Stan asked me for a copy this week, and I always know that somebody must have said something really good, when Stan in advance asks me for it, because sometimes Stan doesn't hear about it until after this, after I talk about it with him, or he sees the show. But Stan, our other owner at Bad City, he was like, I need this Nook #1, and this is Coraline on steroids.
Yeah. It's not all what I was expecting.
It's, if Coraline and the Babadook had a baby, it would be Nook.
Yes. But it's set in
World War
II.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is about a family, a German family who flees Germany. And I really like the intro too, because it's them driving in this car, and the father's like, hey, it just feels like some really bad people are taking over the country, and we don't want to be a part of it, so we're just going to kind of go in hiding for a while. And they go to this old house out in the countryside, and the
dad's like, I bought this house a long time ago, but nobody's lived in it in decades.
Yeah.
So it could be falling apart. Which is the setup for every horror movie ever.
Yes. And of course, creaky floors, the little kid gets injured almost immediately.
And most importantly, a mysterious cat.
Yes.
Which is, if you've watched this show, a selling point for every book that Phil and I put in the picks of the week. Mysterious cat, check. You're a pick of the week automatically.
Honestly, if there is a reoccurring character that is a cat,
pick of the week.
Doesn't have to be mysterious. You can give me their whole backstory on issue 1, and I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to go any further than that, so it's got a cat in it.
In case you didn't remember, Cinnamon, solid pick of the week forever. Oh,
Yeah.
love that book. If you haven't read Cinnamon yet, you're missing out on life.
Behemoth. Killing it.
Behemoth, I know. Okay, anyway.
But yes, so this, and all of a sudden, the mysterious cat leads to some kind of scary stuff.
Yeah.
I get the, the little girl horror.
Cupboard Under the Stairs is always a no. And we actually,
always.
So Matt and I just went and saw our friends Jonathan and Suzanne last night, who are incredibly wonderful humans. And Jonathan has, like, his game room type thing, and he has the little door, like this little nook thing, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, you can find out if you open the door. And I was like, now I don't want to, because I feel like it's this situation. And I really, when I'm reading this book, I was like, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, is if I open the door under the stairs, like, bad things were going to happen to me. And this is exactly what happens.
When I was 14, we moved out onto like 7 or 8 acres out in the middle of nowhere, and it sat on a hillside, and so it looked like a 1-story, but it had a basement, and we slept in the basement. And in the game room, like the media room in the middle, there was this like little door that we didn't know where it led. We think it went under the house. But the second day, I told my dad, I was like, we got to board this up. I don't want to pop it open and see where it goes. Let's just, I'm going to throw some holy water on it or something. We're going to get somebody out here. But, yeah, I never went in there because I know.
Matt's parents lived in a house that was over 100 years old. And in the basement, there was a closet. And within that closet, there was a tiny door that was on the wall. And you opened the tiny door, and it just went to blackness. There was nothing there. It was the most terrifying thing in the whole world. And that's where all the ghosts came out of their basement. So it was like, oh, they probably lived in that hole in the... It's great and terrifying.
At the same time, that could have been his being John Malkovich moment.
Jonathan made that joke yesterday with going through the door. Yeah.
Like, you're either going to be killed by something really scary, or you're going to be inside John Malkovich's head.
Which
is kind of a gamble.
Also still scary. I don't know which one of those is going to work out for you.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But this book is freaking incredible. All black and white, which works perfectly for what it's about. And as with all horror movies, the people are the most terrifying thing immediately. And since this does take place during World War II, you know that those people are very much terrifying. Mm-hmm. But it has extreme Coraline feelings at moments. It has that same, like, I felt like I was watching the Babadook at times because of the way, like, the dark things move through the experience. And the ending of this issue, That's why I stopped. Yeah, I was like, issue 2, I don't know where we're going, and oh my gosh, if you could give me that immediately, Source Point, like, I will call somebody at Source Point tomorrow and be like, hey, can I have the Nook number 2 right now, like, advanced reader copy or something, because I'm kind of dying not knowing where this is, what happens next.
I really like it because it has all of that, the haunted house kind of setup, and you're, like, this little creepy, mysterious girl that you're like, I don't know if you're a villain or not, but then also the Nazis are there, so you're like, well, that's obviously a villain. I know you're the villain, yeah. So, I mean, is this a lot of villains, or, like, I really want to know where this book goes.
Yeah.
Because I have so many questions, and I'm already in.
I feel like I need to know. I don't want to know. I need to know. Because there's a cat. And I need to know what the cat... Because the cat is very important to this.
It does play a big role,
I'm not sure if the cat is a good guy or a bad guy. And that's a huge thing. So I gotta know. I need to know where this cat falls and its loyalties lie. But no matter what, cat, pick of the week. The Nook. It's also great.
Which I
if this was written by James Tynion, everybody would have picked it up this week.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry.
Right, Lauren's like, horror movie and cats. I need it.
Yeah, it's a great read, and I really kind of like the very messy art. Black and white pencil art.
It looks like the little girl drew it as she experienced it, which is what makes it terrifying.
Yeah.
We've got some in stocks before we go to the big in stocks that we're gonna blow through really fast. And so up first from Matt Fraction and team is Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen's boss is Perry White. It's a Perry White one-shot, which have we ever had a Perry White one-shot?
I don't think so.
I don't know if we have, but
I don't even know if Perry White's had like a mini-series or anything.
Well, he does now, but he's Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen's boss, Perry White, and that is the greatest title for a comic book ever.
And it's Matt Fraction.
And it's Matt Fraction. And so it takes place in the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction's universe. Yeah. It's,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, you gotta read it.
It looks great. I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
It's fantastic. Next, Red Room Trigger Warnings issue 4. From Source Point Press, we have Sham Comics, Volume 2, Issue 3. This is Golden Age parodies that get really, really dark really fast. And this one's all about some crows trying to go to an ICP concert. That's literally what that's about.
I wouldn't.
It's crazy. You might.
Actually, you might. You might.
The Marvel Voices, Issue 1. This is the Pride issue 1, but really it's just this year's Pride issue for Marvel Voices. This is fantastic. This is actually a damaged copy, so it's mine because I love my Felicia.
And Jen Bartel cover.
Oh, I know. It's fantastic.
Jonna
and the Impossible Monster, multiple Eisner Award nominee, Jonna and the Impossible Monsters, issue 10. Fantastic book you need to read. The Collector, Unit 731, Issue 3. If you are into time-traveling books, this is a really, really good one. Because it feels more like early edition, where the guy, knows what's going to happen, but he still goes back in time, and then he ends up getting in a mess of trouble every time. The Return of Moon Girl. Lunella is back, and she is getting little one-shots where she works with different characters from the Marvel Comics universe, and she is currently working with Miles Morales on this first issue. Disturbed, Dark Messiah from Opus Comics, issue 2. So I don't know if you know this, but Cradle of Filth also has a comic that is coming out from Opus Comics, and every issue is $6.66. Yeah, very excited.
Look, here's the thing. I have always said that making bands team up to do these, like Disturbed, is such a great pick. Mm-hmm. I love that they're doing this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, Opus Comics was and so Opus Comics, one of the founders of Opus Comics, the editor-in-chief, I believe, but one of the editors at Opus is Denton Tipton, who is from heavy metal. So it's like he took all of his heavy metal connections and was like, let's make some comics, guys. Yes. And I'm loving it.
Give me all of it. I mean, Cradle of Filth, the next one, that's...
Yeah. I think it launches this week or next week.
Let's
it's
go.
Very soon. Duo, issue 2 from DC and Milestone. And I believe it's actually Greg Pak, who was at Dragon Slayer yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, Greg Pak was in town.
Yeah. Lauren worked the Austin Press Live event at Dragon Slayer yesterday with Greg Pak signing. So she... Fables, issue 153, I believe. From 152. We're just going to say from Vertigo. We're just going to say that. It's DC, but it's from Vertigo. If you are a fan of Fables, it is back. It is still in the same universe. We are picking up right where we left off. If you have not read Fables, you can start there. Radiant Red, issue 4, part of the Radiant Black universe. We only find them when they're dead, issue 11. You can just pass it directly to Matt. The Killer Affairs of the State, issue 5. This is a really great book about a spy whose undercover mission has been to work in the most boring government office of all time, and it's literally his day-to-day life of being in an office, a government office. New Burn, issue 8 from Chip Zdarsky and the one and only Jacob Phillips, who we love. Hell Cop, issue 8 from Image Comics, which we love. I love my Hell Cop. X-Men, issue 12. Zombies vs. Robots. This is a classic reprint. This is issue 4, I believe.
Yes.
Immortal X-Men, issue 3, which I love the scroll variant because it's Emma Frost as the scroll Emma Frost. Massive, most Eisner-nominated series of the year. Nightwing, issue 93 from Tom Taylor. Just, keep going, Tom. Just whatever Tom Taylor's name is on, just buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Gunslinger Spawn, issue 9. Star Wars Crimson Reign, issue 5, with this Clayton Crane cover.
People love their Clayton Crane.
I know, everybody loves that Clayton. Miles Morales, issue 39. I only have the regular cover left. I don't have the Hellfire Gala variant with Black Widow on it anymore, but if you haven't seen it, you should look it up because it's beautiful. The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 4. This is Zeb Wells' Amazing Spider-Man run. It's been there is a lot of division on how people feel about this Amazing Spider-Man run. Yeah. So if you have comments and thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man run that Zeb Wells is doing right now, I'd love to hear them. We're switching this. I always want to show Magic cover, but I'm actually going to switch it for this Maria Wolf, Danny Moonstar beautifulness. New Mutants issue 26. This cover is gorgeous. Also, we just need more Danny Moonstar in our life. The Flash issue 783. Catwoman issue 44 with that beautiful decal variant, cover A. Here's the thing I was talking to Josh about earlier today, and a couple of customers in the store. They were like, why is everybody hot on the 1 in 25s from Catwoman? I'm like, dude, every 1 in 25 from this Catwoman run has been phenomenally done. Yeah. And DeCall was doing so good on his 1 in 25s that they just moved DeCall to the main covers. And now they have a new 1 in 25 artist, and everybody's like, these are still incredible. Yeah. So you should be buying all of the Catwoman books. Also, because the cover B is Jenny Frizen, and those have been flawless. Aerosmith, not the band, Behind Enemy Lines, issue 6 is out. Batman Superman World's Finest issue 4 with this Derek Chew, Catwoman, Lois Lane team up cover. Nice. Love it. Black Adam issue 1. We are starting we're getting ready for Black Adam with a mini series. Aquaman the Flash Void Song book 1. Dark Crisis, the Young Justice issue 1 of 6. For the Young Justice. If you are a fan of the comic or the cartoon for Young Justice and you haven't jumped onto these comics, it's great because it's all the same characters. It's really easy to jump in here. Heroes Twilight, Earth Prime issue 6 of 6. This is your CW universe getting comic books, and this is the only one that's not like a specific CW show. So it kind of brings it all together. This is like a CW show crossover at this point. Milestones in History. 88-page giant book. 2 seconds that I have to spend talking about this book because I would have put it in the pick of the week just because of what it is. Because this is Milestone Comics talking about important moments in Black history throughout time that are not discussed. They characters from all the Milestone characters at the beginning of the book come together, and they're like, whenever, here in America, whenever we talk about Black history, there's like a checklist that you essentially are like, okay, well, we talked about this event, and they were like, but this is an entire culture, a worldwide culture of people, and we don't talk about all, you can't talk about just 12 events and be like, well, that's all of Black history. And so Milestone made a comic that's like, hey, here's a bunch of other really incredible, amazing moments in Black history, and we're going to tell them to you in comic book form, so maybe you'll pay attention to them. Yeah. This is a beautiful, incredible book. So, Maestro World War M issue 4. Moon Knight issue 12, and yes, I did bring this cover just because it's the Scarlet Witch Hellfire Gala variant. Punisher War Journal Blitz. We are back. So Punisher War Journal is a thing again, guys. Let's take a moment. But
still with the new design.
With the new design, it connects to the new story. Sweet. He's got his swords, everything. Silver Surfer Rebirth issue 5. I love this scroll variant because it's his reflection that's the scroll on his surfboard. Super dope. Armor Clads issue 4 from Valiant Comics. I've heard it's really good if you're even moderately an Armor Clads fan. Destiny New York, issue 11. If you have not read Destiny New York, you need to. This is a book that's basically what if all of the kids in popular literature who have prophecies about them had to go to a school to learn, a magical school essentially, to learn how to fulfill their prophecies. Yeah. But this is a girl who's not one of those characters who goes to school with all of them, like Harry Potter goes to the school, essentially. But once you fulfill your prophecy, you're stuck at this school until you graduate, and then you're supposed to become a teacher or move on with your life. And our main character is somebody who did neither of those things, fulfilled her prophecy at age 11, and has still yet to move on. Source Point likes to do these classic pulp reprints, which are really great, and this is another one. Nottingham, issue 8. Everybody thought Nottingham ended. Guess what? You were wrong. And The Wrong Earth Confidence Men. And Wrong Earth is about to be like done by Gail Simone and like Mark Russell and all of these people.
Nice.
Mark Wade's doing this one. It's Mark Wade, Mark Russell, and Gail Simone who are taking over all the new Wrong Earth stuff. So if you're not reading it, I don't know why, because those are 3 of the best comic creators of all time.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then other things we have in stock. We got special stuff in stock that we want to tell you about, and I'm bringing Lauren up to join me for this. Oh my God, I always forget how short. This is gonna be so awkward because Lauren's already so much taller than me, and I'm in the short people chair now.
I'm so nervous. Oh, I almost spilled everything.
Oh my God, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's okay. So welcome, Lauren. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
This is Matt and I's adopted daughter, Lauren. I was told that I had to introduce her that way. But no, this is Lauren. Lauren, you work for Austin Pets Alive.
Yes. Oh, I like the applause. Thank you.
Applause. And they can't see you because your hat. So
oh, good, good. Oh, no.
There you go. There you go. Now I can see your face.
Okay.
A little bit more. So Lauren works for Austin Pets Alive. You are a animal trainer?
I work in the clinic.
You work in the clinic.
Yes. So I was a behavior trainer on our behavior team, but now I work in the clinic. So this is like, in order to work in just a vet's office, you have to have this really dark sense of humor in order to cope with things. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh. But yes, don't laugh, Matt. It's not funny. But yes, so this is why Stray Dogs, this is what started everything for me. This was the first like graphic novel I've ever read. This is what got me into literally everything. And I showed it to some of my coworkers, and even they thought it was dark and strange. And I was like, you know it's a certain type of dark and strange when like even the vets are just like, oh hey, like, all right, that's a little too dark for us. But everyone loved it, and it's the best thing I've ever read.
Yes, so if you haven't read Stray Dogs, Matt and I were torn on whether or not to show this to Lauren originally, because I was like, she loves animals, but like this is not a positive animal experience. And Stray Dogs is what if the like they pitch it as The Secret Life of Pets meets The Silence of the Lambs.
Pretty much.
And it definitely feels that way, but it's Disney style animation with a serial killer story.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally decided, you know what, and it's actually the My Little Pony comic book artist, which is great that you have a suspenseful thriller story from the My Little Pony comic artist. And so, yeah, we gave it to you, and we were like, this could be a terrible thing, because that's one of the first things we knew about you, was that you were an Austin Pets Alive employee, but here we are, and you did love it. And in stock, we obviously have the trades, but we have some other things, like I just held up. This is a 9/6 of the 1 in 25. This is the acetate cover, which of course does not translate on this live stream, but this is the acetate cover of Stray Dogs issue 1, which is really, really hard to find. And then, oh good, these are already in the bags. This is the Stray Dogs Dog Days. So Stray Dogs came out, it was 5 issues, I think. And then they had 2 spin-off books that were Stray Dogs Dog Days, which tells you how the serial killer got all of the dogs.
Oh, I haven't read that yet.
Oh,
don't
gotta
spoil it.
I won't. It's just an anthology of stories about each of the dogs. And so this is the Milton variant cover of Stray Dogs Dog Days. Big Time Collectibles, store variant, and Nocturnal Comics.
Tales from the Cryptomage.
Tales from the Cryptomage. Yes, I was like, I already forgot which one it is that I stuck up there. So if you are a horror movie fan, one of the things that Stray Dogs did that was incredible is they made horror movie homage variants for every single issue in abundance, both store variants and open order variants. This one was the Stray Dogs issue 3 third printing, which was a Midsummer cover. And this is the main character of Stray Dogs, dressed as the cover of Midsummer, homaging that amazing thing. Nigel said he loved the EC horror homage on that Stray Dogs Dog Days one, and absolutely, Nigel. And I love this Midsummer one. I know this is your favorite. Yeah. Lauren might fight you if you try to take it.
I saw this movie with my mom. Terrible mistake, but I think that's going to come home with me. It just holds place in my heart of just like, I don't know. I love it. It's coming home with me. So.
And Lauren read this, and then we were like, oh, look, there's all these horror movie homage covers. And that's when we learned that Lauren had not seen most horror movies that are considered classic standard horror movies. So recently, we had a lot of fun, and we showed Lauren Scream for the first time. Now, most of you have probably seen Scream. And you know that, like, there's a lot of twists and turns in Scream. And, you know, being somebody who was a teenager in the 90s, for me, like, I saw Scream in the 90s when it came out. And, yes, it blew my mind. It blew everybody's mind. Lauren just saw Scream for the first time, and it was the greatest moment of my life, watching somebody see Scream for the first time and having the, oh, my God, I can't believe this just happened moment.
Because I saw Halloween, okay? And so, I don't want to spoil anything, even though it's been out since, like, the 90s, whatever. Right. It was new to me. So then, just when I thought the serial killer could just be like one person who nobody knew. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen it. But I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it. But it's like, okay, I'm going to spoil it. So basically...
It's been like 30 years.
I know, but like it was new to me and it was such a shocker. So like the fact that it could be two, not just one, but two people of the main characters in that friend group, I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. It was just so... No. And then I found out that Stray Dogs had that, like...
Scream homage cover. Yes, I know. And it was great. I've literally not... and here it is.
Oh my God. I haven't seen it in person before. I'm going to cry. Am I allowed to touch it? My hands... I spilled some margarita on myself.
This one? This is actually for you.
I'm going to cry. Stop. Not on the live stream. Are you serious?
This is for you. So Lauren's actually moving away too, so this is Lauren's going away present that she didn't know she was getting, and we totally embarrassed her in front of everybody. Yes, it's not the first time I've cried on the live stream, so.
Stop, I'm getting hot. Okay, I need to leave.
What? So Lauren, you're going to tell us about dogs first. Don't leave yet. Tell everybody why they need to support Austin Pets Alive.
I don't even know how to use words anymore. First of all, I was the one who brought this margarita mix, and I've been drinking it in the live studio audience in like the corner of the room. I'm going to throw it. I'm just kidding. I'm so excited. I'm just going to cry. I can't compose myself. Like, this is like the best gift ever. I can't. Anyway, it's awesome. Don't clap.
Austin Pets Alive is where Lauren works, is a great and wonderful way to rescue animals.
Yeah, we're the #1 like no-kill animal shelter in the nation. Well, I don't want to say that. Well, we're one of the leaders. And what we do, we have all these different life-saving different teams that literally take animals from all across the nation and bring them together. So our entire population of animals is actually brought from no-kill animal shelters. And so anything that like... That's what I like to joke about. If someone were to take my collection of comics and like inherited it, is that a word? Inherited?
Yeah.
Inherited. Oh gosh, this drink is strong. Basically, then they're just like, oh my gosh, like we were so stoked to get Lauren's like comic collection. What is it? It's just dogs. Just anything that has dogs. But like that's what it is. There's dog people and then there's me. And then this is just like, this means the whole world to me. But yes, but Austin Pets Alive, yeah, it's a wonderful tie of dark and twisted, but...
And it's a nonprofit organization,
exactly.
So people can donate to them.
You can even volunteer. It just anything you can, just your time and energy, and just being there for these dogs and people
and cats.
I forgot we have cats. You're right.
You have cats. I know we were talking about she's staring at dogs.
I'm literally looking at dogs. I'm just so discombobulated over this. This is the best present ever. But yeah, I just love you guys. I love dogs. I don't know what to do with my hands.
And I'm gonna throw him out there, but Phil, who you just met like 5 minutes before the show, is actually the reason we were able to acquire the comic for you. So.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Come back in.
No.
Take your seat back. Anybody take anyone's seat back? No, this is great. This is I'm gonna take a drink.
So, donate to Austin Pets Alive, volunteer your time, help out with the animals, and read Stray Dogs, because it's a great series, and I anticipate that we'll get a ton more of it in the future, because it definitely left on a cliffhanger that has been unresolved, and so I want to see more. But if you haven't read it yet, we do have trade paperbacks of it. You can come grab it. It's all of the issues 1 through 5 in it. The Dog Days, which is the anthology about the different characters, are 2 different issues. You can grab those. We do have the single issues of that if you didn't catch it. I highly recommend. This is a book that had a Picks of the Week sticker on it every week until we had to take it off the wall because we never had any copies left in stock anymore. So grab a copy of the trade, read it, love it, and watch scary movies. What's your favorite scary movie? Since
Wait, was that? Wait,
Yeah.
that's a Halloween quote. Wait, no, that's a Scream quote. Let me get my act together. I wasn't prepared for this.
What's your favorite scary movie? If you have one, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear about your favorite scary movie. I know Ram said he's not a horror fan, but he does love the Halloween movies and Goosebumps. So, Ram, I don't know what else you need. That's pretty much all you need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The original Halloween movies and Goosebumps is everything. So,
All right, let's.
All right, we're
I'm
gonna bring
scoot
Phil
over.
back. Yeah. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
And Phil's definitely gonna bring that out.
Nice.
Something else in stock that Phil wants to show off. I mean, you should have brought both. But you only have one set of hands. I guess Matt will grab the other one. Is they are doing facsimile toys for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The original packaging, the original design for the Playmates toys. Starting with we have the Turtle Blimp, which is the wacky attack aircraft, and everybody this
30
week...
inches.
30 inches. Everybody has come in this week and picked this up and gone, oh my god, where did they get this from? I'm like, no, they're for sale now. They're new. And then we've got the Turtles Party Wagon. This is the shit. This was the toy.
Yeah.
Flip it around.
If there was any two items that you'd want to pick up before the store officially closes,
It's this one.
it's these two.
Yeah, you'd even anti-foot blasters and wacko bombs.
Oh, it's
It's the best. Matt cried when this came in, I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna-
You thought Lauren was crying a few minutes ago. That's nothing compared to Matt's tears when he saw this party wagons come in. He hugs them, yes.
I immediately was like, how many have we already opened?
We
Where can
haven't
I play
opened.
with? I know.
No,
I
Matt's like,
know.
I'm not going to
I
open
know.
it yet. And I'm like, yet being
But
the key.
The blimp is the cheaper one.
The blimp is 40 and
The blimp is 60 and the
Oh,
party
okay.
wagon's 55.
there you go. Okay.
Still not bad.
Still
and it's
insane.
nice too because the figures, which come in the original packaging, well, only $20.
Only 20
Like
bucks.
most of the NECA ones are what, like 40 or 50.
I love it because it's so facsimile that you also still have to pop your weapons off
Yes.
of the terrible plastic.
Shit, Eastman art on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Eastman art.
Classic Eastman art. And, I mean, it's still so accurate that, like, Donatello is a different color than all the other turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love how exactly the same these are. It's so good. If you're a Turtles fan, this is the time of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
To the scary movie thing, Nigel said The Shining, which is actually which is probably my favorite as well. Bless you.
Phil's his Jaws.
We were actually laughing
Jaws.
because Lauren got one of those like classic horror movies everybody needs to see books, and we were labeling it, and I was like, top 5 favorite movie, top 5 favorite movie, top 5, and I was like, how many of these have I put as top 5 favorite movie? Because I feel like I can only do 5. Because I'm calling it top 5, but I mean, I definitely labeled Jaws, The Shining, and Psycho as things. We were talking the other day, and I was like, if you had to date like a classic horror movie star, like who would it be? And I'm like, it's Anthony Perkins, like forever, always and forever from the Psycho movie, the original Psycho.
Yeah.
He's just. BJ said The Grudge. BJ, question: the American or Japanese version? Because one of them definitely terrified me more than the other.
Yes.
So much more than the other.
I would probably put the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably still to this day one of my favorite films.
Matt labeled that. I labeled Halloween 1978.
Halloween.
Yeah. But
A lot of good ones.
oh my god, there's so many good ones. And we were like going through this book and we were like, oh man, I forgot about this one. This one's the best. Like we have a horror movie problem in this house. Nosferatu.
I mean, the original, all those old
Universal
Universal
Monsters.
Monsters ones, like Wolfman is.
Which wasn't even in the book.
That's
There's a
weird.
lot of missteps in that book where I was like, where the hell is this book? Or this movie in this book? Like, it totally ripped me off. Like, Halloween 3 is not in there. And we will argue until this live stream is over about how Halloween 3 is fantastic. So,
I mean, it's one of those things that I see these movies when they get to like 17 and 18. Like, I remember when H2O came out, and I was like, I love this movie. Like, they've never been bad to me, and the bad aspect of it is the best part of the movie.
yeah.
Like, was it Busta Rhymes? Who was the rapper in H2O?
Was it Ludacris? I thought it was Ludacris.
No, it was LL Cool J.
Oh, it was
LL
LL
Cool J?
Busta
Which one
Rhymes
was-
was in Resurrection.
That's right.
Okay.
Resurrection.
Oh, and Ludacris was in all the rom-coms.
Yeah.
Ludacris was in like 5 rom-coms in the 90s and early 2000s, which was the weirdest thing to me. He was even in the one with Natalie Portman and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, it was the Friends with Benefits.
Yeah, but
or
not
one
that.
of
No
those
strings
two.
attached.
No
Yeah.
strings attached. Yeah.
The other, oh my god, I was just gonna say.
I saw the Justin Timberlake one.
The Friends with Benefits because it's Justin
It was
Timberlake and
JT.
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
much
Why would you
better
not
couple.
have seen that?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, right, but it's funny that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis both made the movie that was the same exact movie, and now they're married.
Yeah.
Like, they made competing movies that came out at the same time that were the exact same plot, but now they're married, and it's adorable.
I hope that was a couple thing for them. We're like, hey, let's have a fun competition.
Right, let's see who can do a better job. My favorite thing about that is that when they did the promotion for that movie, in the other countries, they were in Russia, and they were promoting that movie, and they were all trying to get Justin Timberlake to talk about, like, NSYNC and stuff like that, and Mila Kunis interrupted in Russian and starts talking to them and, like, chewing them out, and they were like, oh, like, they forgot, like, she's Ukrainian and that she knew Russian, and she just, like, interrupts and is like, this isn't happening, this isn't a thing that we're gonna do, like, stop it, you're antagonizing this poor guy who's just
awesome.
here. And I was like, I have so much respect for Mila Kunis in this moment.
I've always liked her.
I do like Mila Kunis. Nigel said the original It is not his favorite, but it scared him the most. Ram said Lost Boys and Army of Darkness. BJ said The Grudge and Ju-on, which is the Japanese version. But I found the fish out of water horror of The Grudge even more effective. I love the same director did both. I mean, my non-American versions, Let the Right One In is like I loved that movie. Absolutely. Oh, and in Lauren's book, I wrote that she had to watch 30 Days of Night just for the absolute Oscar award-winning performance from Ben Foster.
Yes.
Can we just get more Ben Foster in this world?
He's been in a lot of really great movies.
He has, and we don't talk about him enough. Yeah. Ben Foster needs to be somebody we talk about. So when we start our small press studios, Ben Foster, we're willing to give you $0 to be in all of our movies, but we'll appreciate your experience.
I feel like he was typecasted early on as kind of like the quirky henchman, or kind of like the crazy henchman. Yeah, he kind of... you saw a bunch of movies where he was kind of the same... Yeah,
310 Oh my god, he's so good in 310
What's the Bruce Willis movie? It involves a house invasion and Bruce Willis.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called. You commented if you're watching. So
how did we get to Ben Foster?
The weird thing... We're horror movies. The weird thing to me is that... So, as a kid in the 80s and 90s who had Disney and lived on Disney... Ben Foster was on a show called Flash Forward in like the late 80s, early 90s with Jules Sate, who's from Firefly.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was so weird to me that like Ben Foster did that, and then he did a bunch of C-level rom-coms. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he showed up one day and he did like 30 Days of Night, and everybody was like, who is this guy? And I was like, he's Tucker from Flash Forward. Like, you don't know that? And I was like, I mean, it was ridiculous, but I love that suddenly, like, Ben Foster became just this icon that we are, like, for indie films.
Yeah. The movie I was thinking of was Hostage.
Bruce
Willis and Ben Foster. It was bad. Right. It was a bad movie.
You know, but I'm sure Ben Foster was still great in it.
He was the best part of the whole movie.
He's the best part of every movie that he's in, and we should have more Ben Foster movies. He needs some leading roles.
Well, he's going to lead in our movies.
He's going to lead in our movies where we don't pay him at Small Press Studios.
We'll pay him.
In admiration.
Yes.
Because we don't have any money.
And wine.
And wine, that's cheap, because we only buy cheap wine, because we drink it too fast. We got some trades in stock. Some new ones came out this week from Aftershock. Cross to Bear came out. This is a Knights Templar in the Old West kind of movie. Not movie. Now we're back on comics. Fantastic whole series. Talk about fantastic movies. Crimson Cage. I want this to be a movie so bad. That's why I said fantastic movies. This is the most cinematic. This is probably the most cinematic AWA book, and the fact that this has not been optioned yet is crazy. This is a Macbeth retelling set in the world of 1980s professional wrestling. which is kind of everything I never knew I needed in a comic book.
Yeah.
And I love it. And today I had a referee for the WWE as my first customer.
What?
Word. And he lives in Orlando, so
okay.
we're gonna
very
be
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it was super cool. I got to talk all about WWE wrestling today and comic books and how they align. And I forgot to tell him Crimson Cage was in trade paperback. So
For only $9.99.
$9.99. Way to go, AWA, with your $9.99 trades. It is a steal. You get 5 issues of a really, really great book. I can't wait to use that in curriculum for kids who are learning Macbeth, because I'm gonna, it even has like the 3 sisters and the fates, like all of that. It is the best Macbeth adaptation I've ever read in my life. Chicken Devil, Aftershock comics, Chicken Devil in trade paperback. This is your whole thing. If you are a fan of Breaking Bad, you need this. This is all about a guy who just wants to run his fast food chicken restaurant, and his partner gets involved in drugs, and his only way out of the depths that his partner has put him in is to don the mascot costume and become a assassin in a chicken suit. Hotel Volume 2 from AWA Upshot, also $9.99. This is, if you read the first one, it is a horror anthology, all about things that happen in a hotel. What's super cool is this one gives you a little bit more backstory, and we're going to talk about this some more in comic book news in just a second. Homesick Pilots Volume 2, if you need to catch up before you get that last volume, this is the way to do it. I might have Volume 1, but I know we have Volume 2. And
I think maybe 1. I think so.
Yeah. And then we have this incredible complete collection of Midnighter from the Steve Orlando run that just came in. And if you haven't read Midnighter, you should definitely read it. Steve Orlando does a great job. I love that this is a queer writer writing a queer character.
Yeah.
And just really, just giving us a fantastic story, and also giving us those emotions that we sometimes do miss on it because it's not told from an own voices kind of perspective.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, what Pride Month book celebration should I get? Honestly, grab Midnighter and celebrate one of the quintessential DC queer characters.
And one of the best DC couples.
Absolutely. Midnighter and Apollo. Oh my gosh. That is a beautiful couple. Yes.
I love it too, because there's issues where he goes off and he has these big, crazy, violent adventures where he's just cutting people up and shooting them like crazy and just killing everybody. And then the issue ends with him being embraced by Apollo and
who's
making out. And it's
not a violent person at all. So it's
great. Your Superman-esque character. And they're so yin and yang. And
right, what if Superman married Daredevil? Or the Punisher, even more so, because he's way more violent. So it's what if Superman married the Punisher?
Yeah.
This is where their relationship would be, and it's beautiful every time.
Yeah, definitely pick this up. I loved this series.
And if Superman and the Punisher had a baby, it would be my husband.
Wait, huh?
And then Victoria said, respect to classic horror films, but The Strangers with Liv Tyler was a great film. Word.
Wait, is that the home invasion one? The Strangers?
The Strangers?
Was this? I think it was.
I think
it was one of those
I mean, yeah, I think so. Maybe
home invasion, but they run around the house a bunch of times and don't really it takes a full 2 acts to actually break into the house.
You know which modern horror movie really caught me was The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And the reason why it didn't in the theater. In the theater, I was that was really good. I loved the twists and everything. I was M. Night Shyamalan, sit down, because that was a good twist.
Yeah.
But there is, if you watch that movie on surround sound, there is a third soundtrack that's just feet scurrying across things, literally that sound and scratching sounds. And my dad had just he was obsessed with surround sound systems, and so me and my friend Crystal were sitting there at my dad's house by ourselves watching this movie, and my dad had his TV where it was set here, and then the couch was here, and his recliners were here, and then his hallway ran off the side of where his TV was, and the speakers for everything were behind you. So we're watching The Others, and we've already seen this movie 3 or 4 times, but we've never watched it at my dad's house. And so as we're watching it, you hear feet running, and my dad had a linoleum hallway, so we're somebody's running down the hallway, and Crystal's like, check, and I'm like, that's how people die. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And like, I'm like leaning over as much as I can. I'm like, I don't see anything. And so we paused the movie, and then nothing happens. We started again, and then there's like scratching, and then there's knocks on the door, and I'm like, I've never heard this soundtrack in this movie before, but there is at the very base underneath the 2 levels of normal sound in the movie. There is a additional soundtrack for the others that is freaking terrifying. Great movie.
It's been quite some time since I've seen that. I was just trying to look at modern horror movies.
Oh my god, you just passed The Witch. Don't start with me.
Yeah.
We're gonna start talking about great movies, and we're gonna end up a movie podcast by the end of
Well, I
this.
was trying to think of like the more modern ones. I did really enjoy the Babadook.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Lauren cosplays Babadook. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have this could go on for another
This
hour.
could go on for years.
At some point, Matt would push me off the chair and jump
take
in
over.
and start naming movies.
Absolutely, right. We just need to give Matt a horror movie segment. But comic book news, we've got reminders. This is the last week to shop at Bad City if you are in Austin, Texas. If you are a subscriber, once again, your comics will be available through July 24th, which is the July 20th Wednesday release. But for everybody else, last week to shop at Bat City, we are moving the store to the Bradenton, Sarasota area of Florida, which is the home of CGC. So we will be able to, if you are a clean, press, and CGC customer, this is a great opportunity for you. Because Matt can clean and press your comics and then take them directly over to CGC and pick them up once they're graded. So it's really great that you don't have to worry about the travel through the mail and the reversion or anything from pressing or anything happening to your book. So super cool, great opportunity. We will be moving out there at the end of July. And there will be a going away party at Posse East around mid-July. We have a tentative date, so we'll let you know when we have a permanent date for when that will be. But things that are important, we're going to have a big sale this weekend, Friday through Sunday. Check out our social media, which you're on if you're watching this on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, find us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, if you want to know what that sale is going to be if you are in the Austin area. Friday through Sunday, July 3rd. Big sale, blowout sale.
Everything must go.
No, everything doesn't need to go because it is going either way to Florida. But we want to make sure all of our Austin customers have like a great opportunity to grab the things that they've been waiting on before we do take it. If you didn't know, we are taking this guy with us. So Wind Down Your Weekend will continue. There'll be 1 month, I believe, that Matt will be back on the show. And then Phil will be joining us in Florida so that we can continue our great and wonderful show. So if you're here in Austin and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss y'all, how do I know what to read? Phil and I will be back every Sunday night. We're also going to be starting, I don't know if you're going to do it with me, you're welcome to, but I'm going to be starting a show where I go through the previous catalog and talk about what's in the previous catalog that you need to order. Talking about just some of the hot picks from the previous catalog. It's not going to be like this. It's not going to be 2 hours long. It's going to be me kind of giving you a 30-minute rundown of some of the hot books in the previous catalog from small press creators.
I thought it was just going to be like us sitting around and like sipping tea
and
just like flipping through and being like, ooh, this sounds interesting.
No,
here, this is it.
It's going to be a rundown of hot books from small press creators that you need to look. Do you want to do tea?
I don't want to do it.
Well, if I drink tea and just go through the catalog, will you do it with me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll talk about
I'll just scroll through the catalog, but not actually like have any picks.
Right.
I'll just be looking at it.
That's a lie. If Phil looks at the previous catalog, he orders 27,000 books.
There's a reason I don't look.
Right, that's why he doesn't want to be on the show with me, and it's fine. But we're going to be doing a lot of new shows. We've got some crazy, amazing content coming your way as we go. Like we said at the beginning of the thing, if you come in this week, which we hope that you do, Wednesday through Sunday will be our last week open to the general public. It'll be the last week the store looks the way it does. So even if you're a subscriber and you're like, oh, I have time, this is your last week to come in and see the store as is. Things are going to slowly be quartered off as we start to stack things and pack things away. So we hope you come in, visit the store as it is one last time this week. If you want to do a video that's like what I love about City, but about what I love about Bat City, what I'll miss, we'd love to have that as something we can take with us. It's usually us talking at you on the internet, so we'd love to have a video of the reverse. And then there's a lot of news. So, a lot of news. Phil and I were talking all week about some great news. One being that AWA Upshot's hotel was optioned for a film with a female writer and director, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great idea for a movie. Such a great, and you can turn it into, a franchise.
Yeah, and if you're afraid of clowns, don't watch it because it has a French clown painting that is going to probably be creepy and terrifying in movie format.
I am terrified of clowns, but I'll watch it. Yeah. I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space as a kid.
That's not a terrifying movie.
Okay, well, as an 8-year-old, it scared the shit out of me. I didn't go to the circus for years. I never went to the carnival because I was like, if there's a clown there, I don't want to be there.
Good. Don't go to circuses. They mistreat animals sometimes. I guess they are not anymore, but back in the day, back when the 80s, there was still talks of that. Other things that were optioned this week: Scout Midnight Western Theater from Scout has been optioned. I am so excited about that. That was a book that came out of nowhere for the option announcement, but I love that book. It was such a weird, are they vampires? Are they just like eternal beings? Like, what is going on? Western, honestly, we have a lot of Western Universal Monster books now, but I feel like that one kind of hit there first because that was last year. It was a big book. It was all in black and white. It was super cover, all these cool black and white covers that were super awesome. I'm very excited for Scout. We don't hear a lot of announcements for options coming out of Scout, and we should. We should. I had a person come in today and said, "Do you know when the We Don't Kill Spiders hardcover comes out?" And I was like, "I appreciate you coming to my store today, human being who's wondering when your Black Caravan trade or hardcover releases. Let's talk." Other big news, IDW announced that they've been doing, the G.I. Joe Saturday Morning Adventures, which is cartoon version, the animated G.I. Joe series as a comic book.
Yeah.
They just announced that they will be doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventure 4-part series based on the cartoon.
Perfect.
I'm super excited about that. That's going to be fantastic. If you're a Turtles fan, you're probably a fan because of the animated series, honestly. This is a great way to have your animated series come back. That said, we do have the TMNT Adventures trade paperbacks in stock, which is hard to. You don't usually see the TMNT Adventures in trade paperback form, so it's super cool to see those in stock.
Well, it's crazy because people did not want to collect those issues outside of those first few key issues. It was always Mirage Turtles, and then after a while Image Turtles became a thing, but the Adventures books, nobody really collects those. And that was Archie. Weren't those the Archie ones?
Yes.
Yeah, nobody ever likes those, and I thought they were some of the best TMNT
I mean, that's where you
comics.
get your Mondo Gecko and comics and Bebop, Rocksteady, Krang, all those first comic appearances. Yes, it was really great. For those of you who are like, why would you tell me this, but also have already told me you're leaving, if you didn't know, we will be doing mail order subscriptions. So if you'd like to subscribe to that title and have us mailed it to you, we will have weekly, every other week, or monthly order systems, and you get to choose when you want your comics mailed to you, and we'll be doing that. So I know a lot of subscribers have said, I'd actually just want to stay on as a subscriber and have you mail me my comics. That is totally an option if you're not currently a subscriber and you'd like to be. Because you're like, hey, I love comic books. You guys like comic books. I like helping kids learn to read. You like helping kids learn to read. Let's work together. You can totally do that. If you're watching this on YouTube and you've never heard of Bat City and this is your first time, Bat City is a nonprofit organization. We are a 501c3 organization. And all of the funding that we have that comes in through the sale of comic books and things, throughout the store, even your CGC purchases and things like that, they actually go towards helping us put books in classrooms and help kids learn to read and write through comic books, which is really cool. We gave away over $10,000 in new books last year to Austin area schools, and I can't wait to do the same in Florida when we get there. So if you're like, I want to buy my comics and not feel guilty about it, a great way to do that is for all the money to go to charity. So, here's a great way you can do that with books coming out this week. Berserker issue 9 is coming out. Batman Catwoman issue 12. Ram, I know you've been waiting for that and commenting about that. So Batman Catwoman issue 12 is finally here. Batman Beyond the White Knight issue 4. Department of Truth 19. She-Hulk issue 4. Getting ready for that She-Hulk show in August. Yeah. Obi-Wan, Star Wars Obi-Wan, Kenobi issue 2. Venom Lethal Protector issue 3. No, it is not 1996. We are just having a new Venom Lethal Protector series. TMNT issue 130. Iron Man Hellcat Annual number 1. They're about to get engaged. Or maybe they did. I don't want to spoil what happened in this week's issue.
I mean, I assume, like all comic book marriages.
Who knows? Captain America Symbol of Truth, which is the Sam Wilson Captain America story. Issue 2 is out this week. DC versus Vampires Killers. We had the Hunters, now we need the Killers. That's the way Terminator taught us. Scorched, issue 7. The Variants from Gail Simone writing a new Jessica Jones story. I'm very excited about this. Sweet. This is Jessica Jones being in all of the variant versions of Jessica Jones throughout time. So it's going to be super good. That's going to be great. It's going to be great. What's the furthest place from here? Issue 7. 8 Billion Genies issue 2. Finally back on the list after the printing error. Very excited. Iron Cat issue 1. Anything with Felicia. It's great. 7 Secrets 18. Tom Taylor's book that you guys are missing and you shouldn't be because it's freaking phenomenal. The Image Celebration issue 3. Public Domain, Chip Zdarsky's new title, issue 1 is out this week. Ghost Cage issue 3. Awesome. What? Thor Light and Lament number 1. Hit Me issue 4. Sweet. Sins of the Black Flamingo issue 1. Mindset issue 1 from Vault, which I have been waiting for a very long time. Life Zero issue 5, which is my favorite video game, zombie hunting video game come to life, essentially. Good Boy volume 2 issue 2. You ready for this? Pentagram of Horror issue 2 is finally here. Yes, this is a book I cannot wait for. I'm so excited that Pentagram of Horror is finally issue 2 finally here. Marco Fontanelli, who did the Godzilla Kaiju book where he ate pizza. King Jira, and also Pentagram of Horror. This is issue 2 of that.
Polar opposites
and
stories, amazing art,
and I want them
books.
all. Yes. Like, just give me. And I believe he just announced another book with Scout is in the works. Just give Marco whatever. Just give him all the books.
Everything.
Best of Godzilla is coming out from IDW. The way they did the Best of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all the different characters. We're getting a Best of Godzilla. Yes. I'm so excited. Naughty List issue 3. Can't wait to see Santa take down those human traffickers. Kanto, The Unnamed World, issue 1. This is volume 4 of Kanto. Best book. What? Buffy 97, issue 1, which I believe the issue 1 is the one with the Megan Hutchison variant. If it is, I have like 30 copies coming, just don't worry. And if you don't know, you should be buying Megan Hutchison Kate's covers on everything because she's the best and we love her. Agent of World number 1, Never Ender number 2, Wannabes number 1, and Star Ward from Heavy Metal and Steve Orlando is got another issue out this week. Sweet. It's going to be a great week for comics. It's a huge, wonderful week for indie comics. I love that those are all I love that we have like this new Chip Zdarsky book and this second issue, like so many Scout books and all these things as our last week here in shop, because it does feel good to have so many incredible indies just launching this week. I know we are also getting close to like Chip Zdarsky's Batman and stuff, so if you are a subscriber, don't worry, your Chip Zdarsky Batman will still be coming because your books will come through July 20th. They're already ordered. If you did start a subscription or if you're going to start a subscription somewhere else between now and July 20th, please just let us know so we know not to pull for you and I can pack up those comics. We can't wait to see you this week. I'm sure there will be lots and lots of tears in the store. But if we don't see you this week, we will, in the store, we will see you on Sunday night when Phil and I will continue to talk to you about all of the amazing indie comics in this world as we wind down our weekend, and we hope you wind down yours as well. Until then, have a great week and keep reading. Bye!
Bye!